cash creation concepts, kind of a catchy play on words. The only 5 things you'll need in place to create a $100,000 business online, right? From the 4 of us who have directly done that all year, right? I think collectively we've done over 450,000 in sales since January. So we are active. All 4 of us are actively in the trenches doing this stuff, implementing these exact strategies. We are utilizing these exact things in our own businesses. So not a bunch of hypothetical fluff that we're going to be diving into here.
Yeah, absolutely. Boom. So quick snappy shot. Like I'll run through these. The only types of content that you need to be creating to facilitate rapid growth. And by rapid growth, I mean growing your audience, right? Showcasing your leadership. Even if you haven't started yet, you can still do this with some simple ass stuff. All right. Next, the community. If you look at any high level player online, I don't care if they're 6-figure, 7-figure, 8, 9, and even 10. Yes, 10-figure marketers do exist. Okay. 10-figure entrepreneurs, business owners, they are out there. I've actually chatted to a couple of them. All right. Community. They all have some kind of community. All right. A lot of them have Facebook groups. Okay. So it's not really a hidden aspect, but most folks don't quite understand or know how to set things up so that they can grow their community and then monetize it. All right. I don't care what you sell. This is going to be beneficial to you. Right. Conversations code. If you think about it, we're all humans, and how you go out and make friends, meet your wife, meet your husband, talk to your friends is communication, right? You got to know how to carry on a conversation. I've outgrown a lot of folks because they don't know how to do that. They want to talk about silly shit and stuff that they hate in life, and they have no sense of personal development or personal growth. All right. So you got to know how to talk to folks to see if you can help them build relationships, whether it's going to be a business relationship, maybe a networking thing, maybe y'all collab and do something like Nate and I and Thaddeus and Demi. All right. Next, ideas to income. We've helped a shit ton of folks take a simple idea and turn it and produce income. All right. Some crazy stuff. Like it's a slight art to it, but you can package many, many different things, physical and digital, to where you can take a simple thought, and if you know how to structure it and deploy it, you can turn it into a business and an income. All right. Lastly, sales. Right. Most folks have a bad relationship with sales, and they think, oh, you're selling something. Selling's bad. No. If you look at anything in life, anything, like you buy shit every single day. Right. Selling is actually good. Selling is the lifeblood of any business. I don't care what it is. All right. So you want to make it make sense for folks. If you want to make sales on whatever the hell you're selling, you need to understand not only the product, but you also need to understand who the ideal customer is and why they would need it, what it's going to do for them, how it's going to benefit them. All right. When you can do this and do it ethically, you can literally write your own paychecks, just like we had this year. Okay. So there's a snapshot of what we're going to be diving into today. Very deep. All right. So hopefully you got your pens and your pads. Okay.
Okay. Now, as I probably said a couple times, we're long-winded as fuck. Oh, by the way, we might cuss on this live, so be sure your kids are asleep. So we kind of just want to dive in, right? We're going to be, if you notice about this, right, there's a reason we put it in this order, right? And this is a big thing a lot of people miss is the sales is usually on the back. Getting all these other things in place prior to ever even making sales has been a huge reason for the level of success all 4 of us have had because we understand this framework. And after you guys take this live, you'll be able to see what we're actually doing too. So
I mean, so obviously the first thing about everything with your business as an online entrepreneur, it's obviously the content. That's how you're going to attract all your people. And just like the document says, being unapologetically you inside your content. That's probably been, I mean, I think that I can speak for everybody on this panel and anyone that's really seen a lot of, sustainable success online. It started with the content they created, because that's how you're going to attract the people that you really want in your business. That's the ideal fit for, the offers and everything else that comes later on, through the work that you put in up front. with that content. What does it on being unapologetically you mean? Well, just like the rest of us, if you're a Beardy McSwearson, or you're a mom of a 3-year-old, or you've got potato internet, being you is just that, just showing up, sharing some of that real valuable shit, those real life lessons that you've experienced, and not just like 100% business. Like, you're not a fucking robot. You're not just like, I'm here to talk to you about business and that's it. A lot of people think that's the case. A lot of people think you've got to show up and just, you're just going to be like cramming business down somebody's throat. But what attracts people to you is you being able to be you. Are you a mom of 3? Are you a single dad of 2? Are you a dude who likes to wear fucking cat rompers? Whatever your thing is, like, showing up as that individual in your own unique perspectives, your own unique experiences, the struggles, the successes, whether they're, you've failed for 2 years before you made your first dollar online. That's going to build that authority, because you're still showing up. You're still sharing that shit with people. That's everyone. I feel like one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to content and creating a personal brand is they immediately equate it to a business. But in reality, building your personal brand, you're doing it whether you're selling 0 or you're selling, millions of dollars. Like, everyone's building a personal brand. People know you for something. That's the type of shit you're going to show up as. Like, some of the private clients that we worked with recently, and I keep, throwing this out there, like, it's like your favorite flavor of ice cream. You know what I mean? Chances are you're not like, yo, like, let me get that vanilla shit. Chances are you've got your own thing. You're like, oh my God, I fucking love pralines and cream, or some other random ass shit. But in reality, it's the more vanilla you show up, the more boring and the more repetitive and all that other stuff. So sharing that real life stuff, those personal stories, whether they relate to business or they're just you being you going out and enjoying some time at Dinosaur Land, or you're hitting the river, or hitting the frosty Northwest beaches. You know what I mean? The lifestyle and all that stuff is that you bring to the table, and understand that your audience can relate to those different layers of who you are. One of the big things that I always throw around is peeling your onion, because human beings are layered. There's so many layers to what makes you the unique individual that you are. And the more you peel that back, the more people can see those layers and be like, yo, I see myself in this person. I can relate to them. That person's genuine. He's a no fluff. She keeps it real. Whatever your aspect of what makes you the unique badass that you are, that's the type of stuff you put in your content. That's how you really show up. It's not just coming up and like, yo, I make all this money, or yo, I'm this big success, or overhyped promises and under deliveries. It's you realizing that the people that you want to work with the most can relate to you on multiple different levels, those deeper reasons of why you even started in the first place. That's been the biggest shift I know for me, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for the other 3 people up on the screen with me as well, where that's defined, the Demi Thomas brand, it's defined the Flip Moss brand, it's defined the Nate Ryan brand. We're all unique individuals, even though we're all similar, but that's because we vibe with each other. We found ourselves in each other, and that's why we've all kind of graced this screen this morning. So if you're like hitting that roadblock and you're not really sure what to post, start by being more of yourself. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to know exactly who you are. Yeah, as well as as you can see, using things that are. Oh, I'm sorry, Flip. You gotta. I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to briefly interrupt your content goldness, because I'm pretty sure a lot of folks might be thinking like, hey, I'm not good on video. Hey, I'm not good at writing, right? So if you could kind of touch on that, my brief note would be: there's no wrong or right way to do videos. or written content, whether you're doing Facebook posts, emails, blogging, or TikTok videos, Facebook reels. So like everything that dad has just dropped on you guys, you don't have to have it all figured out and be fucking perfect, right? If you look at anyone who's creating content, you know, a lot of folks create content and it doesn't even look business related, even though it's connected to their business. Like legit lean into being who the hell you are, right? Whether it's video or written. If you could kind of maybe.
No, that I mean it. No, 100%. And I feel like that's one of the a lot of the obstacles people think that they have to fit in this box of like perfection. It has to be well groomed. It has to be well curated. It has to be, you know, all the fancy editing techniques and all this perfection. But in reality, the perfect imperfections is what makes you, you know, build your personal brand. There is no like, there's no rules to this shit. I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't realize is that it doesn't have to be some preset way. If you want to get out and make a video sharing how, you know, you're just out, you know, rocking fucking the botanical garden, do it. You know, that's the glory of you building your personal brand and sharing those content pieces. Because, you know, while you're trying to fit yourself in some box, you're just limiting the capabilities that you really have to bring in and attract more of your people. You know, yeah, exactly like Flip said, whether you're writing content, you're writing blogs, you're sending emails, you're making these videos, just showing up at you and sharing your uniqueness is what's going to attract more people to you.
Yep.
And I think a good
ahead.
real-time example of imperfect action is if you look at this live right now, I probably look like I'm off Roblox in most of the lives that we've done all year. But that hasn't stopped us from continuously showing up and doing lives and doing trainings. So I thought I'd throw a little pun in there, you know, a joke, because I still might be frozen, but
Yeah.
No, you're actually coming in pretty clear right now.
oh, heck yeah.
You look pretty good right now.
First time all year.
In the comments right now, like me, my content's about to have a slight shift over the next couple months. You might be like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like hunting season's coming in. All right. So this is something I thoroughly enjoy. I've been doing it since I was 5 years old. So I'm going to incorporate me being out in the woods hunting whitetails. Right. I love deer hunting. Some folks might interpret that a different way, but my content's going to start to depict what I like to do. And I always do that. Family, right? My wife, my kids, my hobbies, what I really, really enjoy. And I connect it all to business, right? So in the comments, let me know some of your hobbies or some of your passions, stuff you enjoy outside of work, right? This is how you're going to build your personal brand and also showcase your leadership and your expertise as you're learning this, whether you've been in the game for 6 months, 12 months, or you're just getting started. All right.
Yep.
So you got some fellow hunters,
Running,
you got some racers, you got some photography. And I feel like one of the greatest things about it is like all that stuff can be shared, and you're gonna. I mean, it's kind of like that weird like catch-22 because you know I know when a lot of people get started, they're like, you know, you don't want to be too broad, but at the same time, like you just kind of like peeling back, you know, that exoskeleton of what you think people want to see, this image. What I refer to it as is like that work version. You know, like everyone goes to work and they have to put on this work version of who they really are. You know what I mean? Because like, let's be real, like you may be a little bit too raw and real for the 9-to-5 job, or you know, maybe that manufacturing plant. Yeah, so like peeling back and like shedding that work version of yourself and being like treating your content like you're chatting with your best friends over some coffee. You know, the people that you just vibe with like through and through. That's the version of you that needs to show up, because that's how you attract those people. And everything else, like as we're going through this, you know, the offers, the community, the conversations, all of these things that you experience in your business can be layered in that, and really laying out what that looks like. You know, having that clarity before the copy. You know, that's such a powerful thing. You know, why are you posting in the first place? Like, who do you want to attract with your piece of content? Now, intertwining and mixing who you are is a prerequisite. In every piece, you need to show up as you, but that's how you're going to build that connection. That's how that you being you is how you build that connection with people just like you. It's also allowing you to pre-sell on you, and whether you're posting, just to your friends and family from high school on Facebook, or you're posting random TikToks, you're pre-selling on you anyways. You're already building that personal brand, just like I said. It's just now you're going to have, intertwining that into business is how you actually get paid for being you. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, Flip. I thought you had your hand raised.
No, I was interacting.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
y'all just jump in and shut me up anytime. I'll ramble like a motherfucker for a hot damn minute. Dimmy knows this firsthand. Anybody that's seen any of my lives know I'll ramble on about this shit all day. Because this is what I love. Like, I love the power of being you and doing business and getting paid for being you. That's like the greatest thing. Serving other people for being who you are. You know what I mean?
I want to add in something to what Thad's been covering. How many of you have heard talk, in the interwebs of like, oh, the online space is saturated, everybody's doing it. Who's heard that? Drop me a saturation in the comments if you've heard people saying that, or they're using that as an angle to sell you something else. Because I'm about to blow that shit out the water real quick. And real quick, shout out to all my hunters and outdoors folks. Y'all my people. Got bow season starting tomorrow. I might be hunting in a hurricane. We're gonna see. But the saturation, right? Not to get squirreled off because I'm famous for that. Hell yeah, Waylon, tell them. So the online space will never be saturated. Business, marketing, sales, it's never going to be saturated. And here's why. It goes right back to everything Thad's been covering. The simple fact that Nate, myself, Thad, and Demi, we could all take one topic and go and share a part of our story while showcasing the same expertise behind the topic. And if we showed that to, say, 500 people, there's going to be a chunk of people that resonate with my story and how I laid it out and how I related it to business. Same thing for the other three folks, right? Nate's is going to be different. Thad's is going to be different. Demi's is going to be different. Yours is going to be different. Folks get to pick and choose who they relate with based on the content you create. This is why it'll never, ever be saturated. All my hunters, like if I wanted to attract more blue collar folks or outdoors folks, I would simply take my hunting experiences and my old factory job and relate that shit to what I do now, right? That would easily and simply attract more folks that are just like me, whether it was me 6 months ago, 12 months ago, right? So that's how this game will never be saturated. And don't listen to people spewing that bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, and I love that because I won't lie. Like, when I first started, like, and just like all the people in the comment section, like, you're not alone. Like, I thought that same thing when I first started. Like, I'm not even gonna front. Like, I was like, there's no way, all this other stuff, there's no way that I can, there's too many people doing the same thing. But that's one thing that's like really shifted, just like everything that Flip just laid out. That's one of the biggest shifts as I've embraced more of the personal branding aspect, the content creation aspect, is that no one's me. And when I started showing up as me, it's made the biggest shift. And I mean, hell, it's done amazing things with, between just solo and being able to partner with people like Demi and, launch numerous products and all of that stuff. Yeah. But back to the document in front of you, the other pieces, the layers of this content, how you intertwine all this together, and having that clarity before you make that piece of content. Are you planting seeds about what your business looks like, what your offer looks like? I feel like that's a very underutilized thing, and we'll cover offers and we'll get a little deeper into this bad boy as this rambles on. But as you're like, building out your offers, intertwining that into that content, You know, whether it's a little bit of infusing about, you know, maybe you're going out and you're going to be, you know, shooting some bows in a tree stand or a deer stand. Or I don't hunt. I'm from the South and I don't fucking hunt, so I don't know what the hell that shit is. So forgive me.
Me either.
But you know, whether you're intertwining those two together, you know, and letting people know and planting those seeds about what you can offer, like why, you know, just like using Flip's example, like, yo, like he wants to be able to go and hunt like all the fucking time in during hunting season. You know, when you got a 60-hour work, you know, 60-hour a week work job, you can't just take off and go like, yo, I'm gonna go hunting today. You know, you just can't. But starting his business, being able to help people, you know, he can take off and just head to the fucking woods, hell, tomorrow morning if he wanted to. Well, as long as it's within in reason. I know they got seasons for that shit. So, but planting those seeds as to why, the deeper reasons why, what you have to offer, what's made that possible, you know. And I'm not talking about just the monetary results either. You know, those deeper reasons of why, and those deeper layers of it is what's really going to want people to take part in it. But laying out that what that process looks like, planting those seeds, you know, making offers, like just like what fucking Flip said at the beginning. You know, you're starting a business, so yeah, you got to sell some shit, and don't be bashful about it. Let people know you have something to offer, because if unless you do that, they'll never know you have something to sell, and you'll never actually make a sale. Yeah. And obviously, you know, just like it says, you know, the secret sauce to it all is being able to leverage the platforms. Right now, like short form video has like changed the organic marketing game, you know, like completely changed the organic marketing game. Before, like it was, you know, it was you had to do blogging, and that took a while. You got to learn all the SEO inner workings and all that stuff. And then it shifted to more people using social media, you know, and then, you know, Facebook was the only thing around, and then you got to add friends, and you know all the things about organic Facebook marketing. Join some groups, provide the value, send a bunch of cold DMs, all that stuff. Well, short form video has completely changed the whole dynamic of organic as we know it, because now you can reach thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. You know, when something like that pops off, like the reach of it is astounding, how many people you can touch with your message. And just to be clear, your message is valuable. Your message and what you have to offer people is valuable. Whether you're selling dildos, dump trucks, or digital courses, as Flip likes to say, you know, whether you got the triple D's package or not, your message is valuable. But then intertwining that to build that nurture system, you know, and as we go into this and we start to really layer out, that's what it's all about, having the long form content to really get more detailed. Because I mean, 60 seconds isn't enough time to really do any real damage. You know what I mean? I say damage, but any real, it's not enough information in 60 seconds, you know? So yeah, that using that long form content to build a deeper connection and sell from there, as well as you're going to find out, the conversations, the community, every other aspect of the whole cash creation concepts.
Yep.
I feel like I'm rambling here, so y'all jump in anytime y'all want.
I do want to add something real quick. So like two main things for your content, like we want our content to really do two things. One, repel people that aren't going to be a good fit to, one, follow us, be a part of our brand, right, or our business. Two, we want it to attract the folks that are more like us and resonate with our story and align with our offers and what we do to help folks. All right. I really don't, it does not matter what the hell you sell. All right. If someone reads a piece of my content, and the fact that me cussing in my content because I write just like I speak, there's another piece of secret sauce. Write the same way that you fucking speak. All right. Now, if you can write a Facebook post and post a picture with it, or you can hit record while you're in your car or sitting in your living room or doing whatever the hell you want, and you can record yourself, whether you decide to talk or not, then you can literally start a business that can turn into 6 figures or multi 6 figures per year within 6 to 12 months. All right. That's a fact, right? Multi 6 figure in the comments. 6 to 12 months, you can do it. I've seen a lot of people do it. We've helped people do it, right? And that's just a fact of it. But most people can't fathom that because of what they've been taught and how they were raised, right? We're all taught, hey, go to school, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, go work your ass off, start a 401k, and hope like fuck you can retire. That shit, I hate to say it, that shit's gone. Not to say or shake a stick and say that's bad for anyone to do it, but for me personally, I wanted to be a present dad, present husband, and I wanted to be around instead of working 60 to 90 hours a week and my kids wondering why the fuck dad's tired all the time. All right, so repel people and attract people. That's what our content should do, and that'll kind of cover one of the questions I just saw come up, like what do you do about incorporating your personal and your business when it comes to family and friends. I've lost a lot of family and friends because I wanted to grow. I wanted to do something that was going to benefit me and my family and how I wanted to live my life. I've literally lost family and friends. Like I'm beefing with some of them right now, or they're beefing with me, and I'm just kind of like ignoring the shit out of them because they're small-minded. You can't be worried about that. If you want to build something that is yours and nobody can take it away, like me getting fired in 2020, 10 years of service to a company, they fired my ass just like that, right? I wanted to learn and build skills around selling and having any kind of business that I wanted to that nobody can take from me, right? If you learn the correct skills, which is a lot of what all four of us teach, this is shit nobody can take from us. We can show up. We can create content. We can craft offers. We can, basically take ideas to income. We've literally done it a lot this year with multiple different things. All right. So repel and attract. Be you. Whoever it repels, perfect. Whoever it attracts, even better. Real quick.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point too, is like if we're talking about the reality is a lot of your family won't understand what you're going to be diving into because it's not the norm, right? Like most of us grew up being told to go to college, get jobs, do all this. So it's a hard conversation to have. As Flip said, remove them if they're not remove them from your social media if they're not if they don't understand or they're not like encouraging of what you're doing. And the easiest response that I've found over the years is just to say, hey, I'm doing marketing, right? Everybody kind of knows what marketing is. So, but the reality is most of the time they won't probe or ask more questions about anything else because they're really more curious about them, like for themselves and less about you. At least that's in my experience. Just telling them, hey, I'm diving into some marketing stuff. That's kind of where I'll usually leave that. And I think a really cool overarching lesson from all this stuff right here that Thaddeus was diving into is, pivoting to more of you in your content will actually make more money. And I mainly mention this because I see this a lot, especially on like TikTok or short form video content, is it's always offer, buy my shit. Why would they want to buy? Right? Start mixing in some flavor of life, right? Talk about you, yourself, your personality, things you're actually doing, right? That is going to be a huge reason as to if you're actually going to start making consistent sales or not making consistent sales, right? We always make this really good analogy of buckets of water, and your audience is like a bucket of water. And if you're not continuously refilling that bucket with goodwill and value, they're not going to buy from you, right? Yeah. So there's tons of benefits to pivoting the content and focusing on everything Thaddeus just talked about. Eliminating any belief or thing about saturation is a very real thing, especially when you lean into you. A good real-time example of this is a couple months back, we ran a super hard promo. Thaddeus and Dammy launched their Triple C's masterclass, and all four of us sold out every spot at the same time. We have the same audience. We have the same people in our worlds, right? We both did it, right? There's an abundance. Some people who vibe with them don't vibe with us, and that's the nature of it. And it's all about building your own pocket of people.
I want to add too, there's a comment or a question in the comments. Do you provide an explanation in your content so they know where your mind was over the last year? I don't want people saying, oh, here's another thing she's trying to start and not take me serious. So I think one of the biggest things that you can do for your brand and to be real and raw when it comes to being honest about what you've tried is talking about it. It doesn't matter if this is the 20th thing that you've tried, right? If all the other things didn't work, talk about them. Talk about why they didn't work. Talk about what you didn't like about them. Talk about where you struggled, where you failed, what you did like about them. You know, that's one of the biggest things, because when you talk about where you failed, where you succeeded, your journey and all of it, people can relate to that. You're almost hitting that pain, but then like coating it with sugar at the same time, you know, because they could be in that same situation, whether it's mindset, they're fighting with getting traction. They don't feel comfortable creating the cloning content. They can't have a conversation to save their life. They have no idea what offer creation is. You know, as you talk about that transition and really talk about how you've overcome that, you're going to be the person that they can say, okay, well, she's been able to do this, I can do this too. Or he's been able to do this, I can do this too. Right? They're ultimately going to gravitate to you the more that you talk about that.
Yeah. And another thing to even think about is, I'll kind of flip it on its head. You said, oh, here's another thing she's trying to start. The only type of people who are going to say stuff like that are the ones that didn't have the courage to begin.
Yep.
The people who are actually moving in their business or doing anything or pursuing, and this is business or not, anybody who's like continuously attempting to become a better human being isn't going to put you down for trying to do something differently. Right. And if they are, get them out of your world. That's the reality of it. They can fuck off.
Yeah. And to add to what Nate just said, I failed a shit. I literally failed and wasted money and time for like 3 years with our core clients. I just shared 3 different posts, right? Perfect lesson for all of you here and how you need to be thinking, which is like long term. When you go and plant a fruit tree, say you plant an apple tree in your backyard, right? Are you going to see any apples that first year? No. Are you going to water it and prune it and make sure that it's got everything it needs to grow? Yes, if you want that sumbitch to produce apples, right? So like when we're starting a business, we got to get the foundations, the basics down. We got to like get the layers, right? We got to understand what needs to happen, how we need to water our business, right? Build the audience, right? Make sure we got all the nutrients and shit that we need so that we can grow, right? So I shared a post that I made that was talking about the last thing you get from a fruit tree is the fruit, right? It starts with the roots. Same shit. I shared a 2019 post, a 2020 post, and a 2021 post. And then like if you look at like how I was thinking in 2019, it was long term. I knew I needed to build some skills, right? I didn't make money the first couple of years. I had to figure out a lot of shit the hard way because I was trying to get the apples before the damn tree ever grow, right? I was fucking myself. So that's how you need to think about this. Get the roots strong, right? Just like a skyscraper. The foundation at the bottom's got to be strong if it wants to go up high, right? So keep that in mind. Like when you're building this out, you're learning skills that are going to pay you long term. Every year, just like at the plant, every time I learn new skills, I got a raise, right? The only difference with every year that I've been growing my business online, I've gotten like, I wouldn't even call it a raise, right? First year, made a couple grand, and I started figuring shit out. The next year, I did 6 figures. This year, we've done multi 6 figures. It's going to continue to grow. It'll become $1 million business, a multi-million-dollar business over the years, right? Because I'm not focused on the apples. I'm focused on growing. Everything that my business needs, me as a person, the people around me, it's going to grow. And if I do that, so will my income, so will my impact, right? So keep that in mind. I know it's kind of deep, but seriously.
And I want to go a little deeper because what I feel like that a lot of times, like, people confuse content, and everyone always says provide value, provide value, provide value. Like, if you've been ever told that the content you need to create is providing value, give me a value in the comment section. And I'm about to like kind of blow your mind, because when someone dropped this on me, it was like it completely shifted the way, and it's going to piggyback right on top of what Demi said, what Flip just said, and what Nate just said. Because when you think about the value, it's exactly what Flip was just sharing, how he got started and that journey that he's been on. That's that real value. That's what's valuable to people. Because if someone just showed up on the scene and immediately started screaming about how big of a success they are, you would probably be like, yo, this dude's full of shit. Or this girl's full of shit, because you didn't see it happen. People look at, like, let's say, freaking Elon Musk, because of the journey that he's been on, the success that he's built over time. Same thing with like Jeff Bezos and all these big entrepreneurs that like everyone, kind of like wants to throw stones at, because they've made something of themselves. They've built something amazing. What Flip just shared about all his failures and then the successes, that's the value. People want to be a part of that journey. That's how you build that personal brand over time. Same thing with Demi's story. Same thing with Nate's story. Same thing with my own. Fuck, my first dollars online was after spending 8 consecutive hours on a Sunday taking fucking surveys online, because I thought that was the only way you can make money. I made $7.70 after 8 hours of trying to take surveys. Like, that shit right there. Like, I still have that. I still have that $7.70 sitting in that account. And I, like, after that, I had basically, like, I had written off the whole online world as like one big fucking dumpster fire scam.
Yep.
But I failed miserably. And that was only like, that was less than 2 years ago. And now I'm sitting up here being able to share a screen with, a bunch of other badass entrepreneurs that have opened up and peeled back who they are to share that journey. That's what's really valuable. Not the tips, not the tricks, not the hacks. Your journey, your experiences, all of that is what's really, that's that value that people want to see. That's what the value you bring to people. And it was a mutual mentor of all four of us, Mr. Jacob Karras, who dropped that on me. That's how what real value is over time. That's that foundation. It all starts with the content. And I won't get off on a tangent here. I know.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to add that in. Yeah.
Yeah, I see lots of awesome points in the comment. Before we go to like the next section, I'm curious, how many of you here like truly believe that you're worth more than $10 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour? How many of you believe that you are worth more than that, and that your time is more valuable than just, being an employee? Last thing I'll say before we switch over to the next section is one of the hardest things for me to make a transition to was thinking like an employee to thinking like a business owner, a brand owner, right? Because as an employee, what do? We go to work. We know everything we have to do. We slowly get better with doing our task as an employee, but we never get compensated for it. Very rarely did we get, a fucking shout out. And it's more like, hey, we're going to do a pizza party on Friday, right? You guys are doing great. Y'all met quota. Y'all doubled it up. Y'all made us a couple $1 million. Here's a pepperoni pizza with extra cheese. You're welcome, right? It's fucked up. But with this, everything that I've learned, it's like I can be in control and really dictate what I am worth, right? And the biggest payment that I've received is being able to look over at my wife and say, hey, do you want to go get something to eat? You want to go out to eat while the girls are in school? Hey, do you want to go and sit down and eat after we pick the girls up from school? Right? Hey, do you want to book a trip? Right? That's the true freedom. I don't care how much money I make, honestly. As long as my bills are paid every month, my girls are straight, and my wife is happy. Right? And I'm present. I'm there. She no longer has to say, she used to get the question all the time when she went out to family things and, you know, little get-togethers, etc. Even on Christmas and Thanksgiving. Hey, where's Flip? He's working his last 12-hour shift. Flip's at work. Flip's sleeping because he's on night shift. Fuck that. Flip's here now. What's up? What we doing? Where we going? What do the girls want to do? Right? That right there is worth the $1,500 investment I made after I sold my lawnmower to build a multi six-figure business. Sit on that. And I was expelled from college for selling drugs, trying to get a business degree. I have no degree because I was expelled. I was told I would fail. I was told I'd be a piece of shit because my mom was an alcoholic. Yet, here I am with all you badasses, and I've helped literally hundreds of people get out of their own way to do the exact same thing. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, Jonathan makes a really good point too in the comments about success looking different to everyone, right? Success, the definition of success is different to everybody, right? When I first started, I thought I was going to be sipping drinks on the beach with the click of a button, and I don't even drink. But you know, the reality is it didn't happen. And before we move on, is on the tone of like past mistakes and failures and all those things. Like, lean into that shit. Talk about that in your content because it's real, it's raw, it's transparent. If you pick up the common theme between all four of us is we tried for a long time before we had any success. Flip and myself, years, right? Years of investments and failures. And you guys could go look up my blog that makes me $0 that I spent 10 months creating every single day after work.
So if you got some aha moments from this content side of it, you know, we'll move on because we are long-winded. We pretty much kind of apologize for that, but we want to break everything down so that you guys understand it, and like we really want it to click, right, on how simple this is. Not saying this is easy, but like what we do is so simple and folks just fucking sleep on it. It's like you can create an online journal and just like document your life because documentation beats conversation every day. All you got to do is document what you learn and how you go as you grow, and you'll build a fucking empire. If it took you 5 years to build a business that makes you $180,000 a year for yourself, would that be worth it? Like, let's say you invested $5,000 and first year you only make 20,000. The second year you hit 80 or 100, right? By year 5, you've got a business that produces $30,000 to $50,000 a month. Would that $5,000 investment be worth it? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments because we're about to go over community and culture, right? And the reason I really, really say that is because folks will go out here and spend $100,000 on a college degree and get the degree only to be left high and dry because they can't go out and get a job that pays them anywhere close for what they paid for the fucking schooling because the system is broken. And I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but I've just seen it happen. And I've talked to like real people in the world that have went through this and they're going through it, paying back a loan on a degree that they got, and they don't even have the job that they set out to get. Right? Yet, I made a $1,500 investment into a online course and built a business that's completely irrelevant to like the information that I learned, but I just applied it to multiple things. Right? Think about that. Because, yeah, you can change your shit.
Let me see. Awesome. So to dive into some community and culture, I hope you guys can hear me because, my internet is not playing nice. So
We can hear you. You're clear.
There is no denying it. The power of a Facebook group is widely recognized, right? I mean, there is, as Flip mentioned in the beginning of this call, right? If you look at huge entrepreneurs in the online world, they all have groups, they all have communities, they've all created some form of culture within those communities, right? And this is one thing I picked up from Twan when we did an interview with him. People don't buy into things, right? They're buying into culture, right? If you look at like brands and like Juicy Couture or like actual, what is it? I'm drawing a blank on the name, Gucci or anything like that. They're buying into like the culture of owning those products, right? So looking at that like in your online business, right? Looking at that like translating that into your actual online world, right? And it's extremely, right? The thing that fascinates me is like everybody realizes, at least in the online world, most of them realize the power of Facebook groups and communities. Literally because one of the most common strategies is to build your business off the backbone of someone else's community. Go to their members area, add friends, send out cold DMs, do the flying pigeon poop of a post where you drop a post in their group and hope that you're going to get leads, and then you never even show up in their group again until you drop another post. So what about building your own community, right? Your own culture, your own space, right? And it's really not that complicated, but this is by far one of the biggest pivots I made in my business. And obviously we're huge on community. I mean, that's the entire premise of our program, Group Juice. So let's break down some of the biggest benefits, right? You're the leader in that space. Even if it's a micro niche, you can become a leader, right? I was talking to somebody the other day about building a community about catios, which I had no idea what Thaddeus probably knows what a catio is. It's like a patio enclosing thing for your cats so they can go outside, right? And because you can become a leader in that space, right? And it doesn't matter what it is. You're building this community of people all interested in similar subjects, right? And as Flip just mentioned, online journal documentation, people who are coming into your groups, your worlds, they have the ability to come along with you on this journey, on this experience, right? If people can look back in my group from day one when I started posting content in my group about me trying to do Amazon FBA, me trying to run a digital marketing agency, me blogging, right? All these things have led to where I am now, right? And the hidden benefit to that is the people that have been with me for prolonged periods of time, being a part of, they feel like they're a part of that journey. They've seen me do this. They've seen me accomplish all of these types of things. And then they say, hey, I want to fucking do that too, right? And I'm nobody special.
And he's frozen. When he comes back, he will. I'll let him take back over. But real quick, when you can document something and teach people things, and they can like watch it happen in real time, it's gonna stick with them, and they're never gonna forget it. And I'll say that because this applied to me when I was a supervisor at a very dangerous aluminum extrusion plant. I still get text messages from the old guys where they were my team. I was their supervisor. They still hit me up and say, Flip, your name still has a great name, even though I was fired for speaking and not holding my tongue. Hopefully a lot of you here can relate to that. I don't give a shit, whatever. I'll always speak on my mind. But there are still things that I taught in some of our meetings, SOPs on, the most productive way to do things. Some of my shit still lives there, even though I don't work there. And it's been almost 3 years. I still have these guys hit me up because of the impact that I had from me documenting the shit that I learned to make the workplace better and more safe. Right? So now Nate's back, and I'll hand it back over.
Yeah, I don't know where I froze out. What I was saying is on the tone of documentation, it becomes extremely powerful. And I'm not anybody special. I come from a minimum wage job at a gummy bear factory. Let's see. So it's 100 times easier to make sales coming from your own community, right? Because as I mentioned, you are the leader. It is your space. You make the rules. Everybody made a micro commitment to come into your group so they know who you are, right? The difference of like you trying to sell offers or make offers from your group versus going into somebody else's group and making an offer, right? You're not the leader in that world, right? They didn't join that group for you, right? It's a completely cold relationship versus even someone who just jumped into your group. There's even a higher chance for you to even start a conversation, that could potentially move into an offer because they're there for you in the first place, right? They're there because of something you did, right? So control and security, right? That's a huge one, right? And this is a big one that I've been on my brain lately as like me and Flip are getting further and further into business together is like long-term security, right? For those of you that are just getting into the online world, you won't really see this, but the digital space moves extremely quick, right? And there's products and programs that are come and go like in this, like overnight, right? Prioritizing building your own ecosystem is going to give you long-term success, right? All the different offers that I've ran, all the different products I've sold, from being a full-time affiliate to being, a product creator myself, it's all been from the same group, right? If I was building my business on the backbone of something else, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because when that stops trending, so does my business, right? So you're going to be relevant for the next 5 years, right? Because it's in your hands, right? And this is for people who are affiliates or like primarily selling other people's products. You always want to prioritize building your own ecosystem and your own pool of people, right? And that's like, even if you bought any of our products, anybody else's products, build your own shit, right? Because 5 years from now, that's what's going to be able to set you free, is by building this culture and community, right? Building this actual ecosystem of people that are interested in you, right? That's going to give you guys long-term success.
I want to add something on the back end of that real quick. I'm sorry, Flip.
Go ahead, Dan.
And just like what Nate was saying, that's like such a powerful thing, and I think it's very underestimated, that community that's vibing and made that micro commitment to you. Because in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you want to do and you want to evolve into some other area. You want to evolve into launching, whether it's a digital course or maybe you want to launch a freaking apparel brand. Doesn't matter what you want to do. Those people are already going to be salivating for what you have to offer because they vibe with you. If you don't take that time and don't build that community and that culture built around the type of person you are, those evolutions that you want to go through can feel like you're just starting over, like you're just having to recreate something and basically start from square one. It won't be technically starting from square one, but it'll feel that way because it'll be a shock. It'll be an awe. It'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I don't know what this person's talking about. That's not why, like I'm, whatever. But if you start with the you in business, then everything else can flow so much more seamlessly. And you see it every day with, people like Gary Vee, who started with freaking wine. And now he's, the biggest NFT advocate on the planet, but he started by building his community around him, what people who vibe with him as a person. And then on the backbone of that was able to build a business around that. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yep. I want to add something else too. And I really want you guys to put some deep thought into what I'm about to say. Okay. So if you haven't been listening to my ass, this last 60 minutes, do it this time. If you've bought anything online, right, whether it's Amazon, maybe you ordered something from a different website, or you've just made any kind of purchase, from Walmart, Target, Best Buy, right, Whole Foods, whatever, Amazon, all of those, anything at all. You might not believe me, but this is the truth. Most of the things you buy online are from third-party sellers, affiliates, all right, even on Amazon, even on things from Walmart. They're third-party sellers. Now, I want you to write this down on your notes and put this in the comments. So I know a lot of you are taking notes. I want you to write down the word consumer, and then beside it, I want you to write down creator. All right. So give me 1 second. I'm expecting some visitors. We'll see. So consumer versus creator. Okay. All of us are consumers in our own way, but at the same time, the creators are the ones that are getting paid, whether you're creating your own community, right? So you can either pick and choose, I still consume, but I also create more than I consume. All right. So consumers versus creators, the creators are going to win. Now you can decide and make a decision to learn how to become a creator of whatever the hell you want. The best way to predict your future is to create it. All right. So if you choose to be a creator, you can create the content that people consume, and they will buy the things that they already buy every single day. I'll say hello to my oldest, that is Miranda. But I wanted to share the consumer versus creator analogy, right? Because we can all be creators, whatever the hell we want. All right. So some boom
I think
sauce for you guys real quick.
I think a really powerful lesson too is like last night we were on a call with a really big entrepreneur who does about 1 million views per month with YouTube. And the thing he said, it was really funny actually, because you would assume somebody that is actively creating a ton of content on YouTube and actively killing it with YouTube, his exact words were, I don't actually watch YouTube very much. It's like, I very rarely watch anything on YouTube.
That's a mic drop right there.
Had to go turn off the kids' Wi-Fi.
Thanks, guys. Boom.
Okay, so I'm just going to forewarn everybody. I'm probably going to have a visitor. He's probably going to be loud, but we're parents, right? Like you just saw with Flip. Waylon's been in and out of my office. But obviously, I couldn't agree more with what everybody was saying. You know, everything within content and your community fuels the next step, right? Which is your conversations. And one of the biggest shifts that really hit me, and I'm going to be 100% transparent in this moment. When I first started having conversations, when I figured out that I could have conversations, because I came from the copy and paste world, and I didn't realize that you could talk to people, right? And another piece of transparency, I'm probably one of the most socially awkward people in the whole wide world. You know, I'm the one that will say ass backward shit, trying to make it make sense. My clients, all three of these guys know that. Like, it's a miracle that sometimes they can pinpoint what the hell I'm trying to say. But when it comes down to being in the conversations, the first and foremost thing is remember that that's a human, right? It's not about shoving a product down somebody's throat. It's not about like, oh, well, this can help you, when in all reality, you don't even know what they need. You know, when you really listen to somebody and you start to diagnose them, right? Not only does that make you more relatable to them because you're pinpointing exactly what they're going through, right? You've been there. You know how you've overcome it, right? But one of the biggest like epiphany moments within my whole time being online that I've ever had was really understanding that that person is a human who has feelings and who is nervous as hell that they're talking to somebody, right? Think about it. Like I've talked to different affiliates or different people. Like the very first time that I talked to Jacob Karras, the very first time I talked to Flip, I was like, oh my God, it's a real person. You know what I mean? It's one of those moments. And in that moment, your sole job is to make them feel comfortable. If they're not comfortable with you, you're not going to find out anything about them, whether it's small talk or hardcore business. You know, they don't want to be like waterboarded with questions. You know, you're not a drill sergeant. You're just solely finding out like who they are, you know. Like for me, you know, I'm a parent. That's where Flip and I first really made that connection. You know, he's a dad, I'm a mom. I worked a 9 to 5, my 9 to 5 was an office job. My husband's a blue collar husband, you know, lots of different things that we could relate on. You know, I also, I've hunted in years past. My husband still does. So another relatable thing. And all that was found just by small talk. You know, when you get them to really open up to you and feel comfortable, that's when you're going to find out the deeper things, the whys, their desires, what they hate about their process, what they hate about doing, or what they hate doing certain things with business. You know, talk to people like you're literally a doctor, right? You've all been to brand new doctors. You've all felt that weight on your chest of, oh fuck, like this is a new person and I have to tell somebody exactly how I feel. You know, that doctor is solely there to find your pain and fix the solution. You know, and I was on a call last night and it hit just perfectly for this, you know, and I know she's watching right now. When you go to the doctor for a broken arm, the doctor's not just going to sit there and say it's broken. Yeah, it's really broken. You know, well, no shit, it's broken. How are you going to fix it? You know, that's that's what you do in the conversations. You know, you find out exactly what it is that's broken for them, right? And then within those diagnosing questions, you move it to what your product, what your solution, and it doesn't matter what the hell you sell, right? I think we've said from the get-go, product doesn't matter at all. You know, these steps can really help you do. These steps can really help you do. I thought Flip said something. Anything, right? Monetizing any passion. You're gonna have to talk to people. It doesn't matter if you have a $100 product, a $50 product. People want that connection. You know, they want that connection of you can really help me do X, Y, Z, and that's what they want, right? And then when you're in Messenger, I like to use the bucket scenario. So you have 1, 2, and 3 buckets. You know, depending on where they are in that is really how you're going to face that conversation. You know, somebody might have seen one piece of your content and was like, oh, I really like that. You know, so they hop in. They don't know who you are. You know, they don't know what you've tried, where you are in your journey or what you've accomplished. You know, they just seen something that made them relate to you. So they want to know more. When you move in your conversations, you're going to go from that piece of the relationship to a deeper level, which is bucket 2, right? Bucket 2 is when you really have to dive deeper with them. And a lot of people, I think, the more comfortable that you've made them in bucket number 1, the easier bucket number 2 is going to be, right? You're going to ask them some serious shit. You know, why do you want to be home? Why don't you just work more overtime if it's just more money? You know, when you uncover that deeper reason, it's they want to be home with their kids. They're tired of working night shift. You know, they don't want their kids to have to miss out on dad or mom time. You know, maybe they want to travel with their wife. You know, maybe they want to build something that their kids can take over. You know, those are very valid reasons as to why they want to do this. You know, as for, and I hit on quite a few different things that all 3 of these guys wanted to do. You know, for me, I wanted to make sure that I was present. I saw too many milestones over my phone, you know, and that shit hits. And when the more that you can relate to that, the more that you can say, you know, I understand that you're in a toxic work environment. I understand that you're trying to get out of that. You've been working your ass off for this business, but let me show you how you can fast track that. You know, that's what bucket 2 really is. And then the deeper that you dive into bucket 2, the quicker you can move to bucket 3, which is all about just setting them up with a solution. You know, And it's not just, oh, here's what I have, this will help you. You know, using those pieces of the conversation that you've pulled from bucket 1 and bucket 2, that's going to be your paint for bucket number 3, because you are painting a solution right in front of them. You know, and you don't want a cool DM at 5 a.m. Cool. You're tired of the copy and paste method. Cool. You want to actually show up and be you within your content. Cool. Let me show you how you can attract the audience, repel the people that don't vibe with you, because not everybody's going to, and that's okay. You know, I think that's one of the biggest things within the whole journey. The quicker you are yourself in your content, the easier it's going to be to pull them into your community. Once they're in your community, the faster they're going to want to have a conversation with you and really get to know you more.
Yep.
You know? And at any point in time, guys, like, interrupt me. We know that I could talk about conversations all day long. But bucket number 3 is, it's not just the pitch, right? It's really laying it out how it's going to work for them. How are you going to be right there with them every step of the way? What is the support that you can offer? You know, and all of this is, I mean, next up is offer creation. You know, you're going to be able to pull these points off of your offer. You know, it's really about utilizing their soul wants and desires, right? At the same time, but pulling out those pain points too, because pain will get them to act, but pleasure, those wants and desires, will get them to keep acting, right? Thaddeus had said that one time, and it stuck with me ever since. You know, once you have that clear understanding of what they've tried, where they want to be, how they want to do it, then you can really push your plan, the game plan, on them. And it can simply be, hey, I have this roadmap that can help you do X to get you to Y to eventually hit Z. Is that something you want to see? Right? And inside of that too, I had a really good thought, and it just kind of, it'll come back. But inside of those conversations, I think so many people are so quick to be like, here's my shit, buy my shit, right? And in all reality, that's not what it is. You don't have links until you know 100% where they are, right? And that is one of the things that we have told our clients. Triple C students have said this, you know, and they've remembered it. You know, same goes with when it comes to those roadblocks and objections. You know, I think so many people get stopped by those because they don't know how to handle them. When in all reality, it's all about laying out that value piece, something that we've said numerous times throughout this whole training. You know, when you can lay the value out to them, it's not about the investment. You know, and I will speak 100% for myself. I was presented an offer doc in November of 2021, and I didn't even read it. Okay. I was presented another offer doc in January of 2022, and I didn't even read it. It was, hell yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. Because I was sold on who they were, how they were going to help me, and the investment didn't matter. And when you can do that solely in a conversation, because that's exactly what both of them were, that's when you know that it's just time to present, right? And I know that a lot of people will open up those wounds and grab the salt shaker, and that's totally fine too. But at the same time, understand that yes, pain gets them to move, but it can't just be strictly that, right? It has to be the mix of pleasure too. You know, I've seen so many people like, and I'm sure that I'm speaking to the choir here. People have jumped into DMs And it's just this fear tactic constantly. It's like, you can't scare me to open my wallet. You know, that's not what I do. I know that's not what any of these guys do either, you know? And really, when you present yourself first and foremost within your content, you really still continue to show up as you genuinely inside of your community, because it's your house. You can do really whatever you want, you know, besides saying a certain word, because then you get blocked like Flip did. You know? When you really open that up, those conversations come a whole lot easier. You know, that's why this is such a key part. And I think so many people think that, oh, I don't need to have a conversation. I can just, here you go. This is what I have, you know, when in all reality, depending if you want to solely rely on the conversation and weigh heavy there, or if you want to ask 3 to 5 questions to really present that, you know, that's totally up to you and how you run your business, you know, but you're going to have to talk to people. And it doesn't have to be this snake oil car salesman shit, right? You don't have to wear a suit and tie just to have a conversation with somebody. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say casual combos into cash, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big rigmarole. If any of you guys would like to potentially do that for yourselves, drop me a 1 in the comments. Because Demi is like a rock star when it comes to DMs. Straight wizard.
Yeah. And Demi doesn't like to admit the fact she's actually pretty good at it. So when I was trying to raise my hand and Demi just straight up ignored my ass. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't even see your hand. I'm so sorry. I've been focusing on my camera.
I was just gonna add, because she touched on something that I kind of want to bring back real quick. And it's the fact of like you actually listening to what people are telling you when you're talking to folks, right? If you actively listen, you'll understand where they're at. And check this out. If you ask the proper questions, they will tell you what they need help with without even realizing it. Because some folks don't want to be honest and say, hey, yes, I'm struggling, right? I need help. I know I need help. Most folks aren't going to come out and say that. But if you ask the right questions, they will tell you, and then you can then anchor that to all of your further questions as you're finding out if you can help them. Because we will not make an offer unless we're 100% sure we can help them, especially when it's high ticket. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys a real quick short story and then hand it back to Demi. But I think this needs to be heard. So for preference, it took me 18 months to hit 100,000 online. All right. After joining, Jacob Karras and SAA, it took me 18 months. Exactly. All right. Now, when Demi joined my group, she didn't answer my fucking questions in November. All right. That pisses me off. But I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to be nice. I said, hey, Demi, if you could answer my questions, I'll get you in the group. Right. And she was shocked that I actually responded to her. Like, it just blew her mind. I was like, well, I'm just doing what I do. Anyways, within 2 weeks, I tricked Demi into giving me $3,000. I tricked her ass. No, I'm just kidding. I really didn't. I actively listened. Yeah, I actively listened to where Demi was at in her business, and I wanted to make sure I could help. And it just so happens she was going through the same thing that I'd went through, like a year and a half prior, and I knew exactly where she was, and I was 110,000% confident that I could help her do what she wanted to do. All right. So after actively listening and diagnosing where she was at, I presented her that offer. Right. And she took it to a whole nother level, because I'm not very pushy when it comes to budgets. I like to find out the schedule, their goals, and their budget. That's what's going to determine what kind of offer I make. Right. When I made her the offer, she was like, I'm going to get a loan. I do not condone folks to go and get a loan, but Demi was hell bent and she wanted to do what she wanted to do. So I told her, I said, if you show up and go hard, here's what's going to happen. Now I'll let Demi be the judge of whether I told the truth or not, because Demi did 100,000 in half the time that I did. 9 months, she hit 100,000, right? So how many of you would make a $3,000 investment to make 100,000 in 9 months? Let me know. Does that make sense? But I listened to where Demi was, which goes into the conversation piece she was just covering. And here we are now, right? A lot's happened since November, right? So just sit on it.
And Flip left out a really detailed piece of my story, and I will share that with all of you, because when it comes to, like he said, the budget and everything, I think so many people are afraid to really hit that piece because, it's cringy and it's money and it doesn't feel right. There's so many ways. What? You're fine. You're good. Come in here. I told y'all I'd have a guest. And please don't
Cameo.
You're okay.
Little man just wants to be a superstar, you know.
Got a sucker
There he
stuck in
is.
his mouth, too.
Got to get him on some content creation early, you know?
So when it comes to that money question, it doesn't have to, it's okay. Well, go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Yep, the bathroom light's on. When it comes to that money question, I think so many people are afraid to ask that. And it doesn't have to be this nasty, dirty question that you like cringe at, you know. It's simply just, hey, like if you want to get out of your 9-to-5 job, what's it going to take? Right? For me, I was very honest with Flip. And I told him, I was like, look, I don't have $3,000 sitting around. I'm going to have to do something to do it. Right? And I got a loan. And that's been one of the best. I put us in debt even more. But look what I've turned it into. Right? And that's a powerful statement in and out of itself. You know, you never know what could happen. But I'm not the person to sit back and ask myself, well, what if? Right? What if I don't try this? You know, I was hell-bent on being home with my son. I didn't want to see any more milestones through a fucking phone. Right? I was hell-bent on getting my husband off of a 100-hour work week. And that's exactly where he was a year ago. You know? Yeah. But one key thing that I think so many people don't understand is one question will fuel your entire conversation, right? Because they will answer, which in turn will be, okay, well, can you tell me a little bit more about that? But why? Why do you want that? You know, well, what's it going to take to get there? One question will fuel an entire conversation.
1,000%.
Oh, and I didn't answer Flip's question, but yes, everything that he told me happened a hell of a lot quicker than I mean, I blinked and I was like, fuck, here we go. I'm leaving my job. I'm moving. I'm doing this.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk it, right? Son of a bitch.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like when you said that, I was like, okay, sure. Okay, sure.
So in a nutshell, here's the deal. If you invest in yourself to learn skills and you apply the skills as you learn them, you will build a brand. You will build your audience. You will become well-versed in offers. You'll know how to create your offers, right? Now, that's literally it. So I don't know why most folks are out here like, I want to make money tomorrow. I need to make 10 grand in 30 days. You can do that after you take about 3 to 6 months to build the foundations, right? If you'd have told me back in 2017, hey, Flip, when 2022 comes around, you're going to be hitting $20,000 and $50,000 months. There's even going to be a couple days where you make over 10,000. I'd have been like, you're fucking crazy. That's stupid. That's not possible, right? Because I'm out here working for $20-something an hour, right? I was like, you ain't gonna sit here and tell me you can make 10 grand in a day. Yet fast forward, here we are based on the skills that I invested to learn and I've applied as I've learned them to build everything up. This is what this whole damn training is about, showing you the exact steps you need to take and how you need to set realistic expectations. And the fact that you can move a hell of a lot fucking faster if you learn from folks that have done the shit that you want to do. That's a fact. 4 people living proof right here. Look at our students. Look at our clients. All living proof. Our students and clients have made over $200,000 in their businesses this year. Right? Laying it out.
I think that's some powerful shit, and I just want to acknowledge that one more time, what you just said there. Every single one of the students that have done exactly what Flip has just said, learned the skills, applied the skills, and kept implementing as they went, have all moved faster than all of us up here. Faster than, even with what Demi just shared, that she hit that 6-figure mark at half as fast or in half the time that Flip did. She's got clients that are moving even faster than she did. There's members inside the Triple C's community that are moving faster than both Demi and myself, faster than Nate did, faster than Flip did. Because once you find that process, and I think that's like a very exactly what we're laying out to you, these very simple steps. It's not hard work, but you just have to work hard at it, putting it to use, building putting that content out, learning how to build your community, building your audience, having these conversations, giving a shit about what people want to do. Like this comment up here, and I can't click it, but it's this comment by Sarah West, and it's, I'm tired of not feeling respected nor appreciated at my regular job and have to be in a clique just to feel appreciated. And I'm realizing it. Like that shit right there. Like if you've ever felt like that at your job, like drop a 1 in the comment section, because I guarantee she's not alone in that. That underappreciated, bending over backwards, picking up those extra shifts, working those weekends. I was working weekends. There was periods of time I was working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, third shift, second shift. Oh, anytime somebody needed somebody else, they couldn't show up, I need you to stay over. Underappreciated, only to get that pizza party, that one time a year for appreciation day, or a fucking button. My missus works in the healthcare field, and she got a fucking medallion for having to work and risk her health all through the craziness that's been going on the last 2 years. So that underappreciation, lack of respect is like a common thing, but if you put yourself out there, you start sharing that shit, other people are going to vibe with who you are, putting out that content, building that audience, implementing exactly what we're laying out here. Yes, you will move faster than Demi. You will move faster than Flip. You will move faster than Nate.
I want to add something to that too. In fact, I'm not trying to step on your toes, but
go ahead.
I want that last part of what Sarah said too. I actually didn't have anxiety about it because I know that investment will pay itself back. That's the power of having those conversations, because Sarah was upfront and honest. She's like, hey, Demi, I got to do this. And I said, hey, I did that too. Don't worry about it. That's when it's a totally different thing and I'm not trying to squirrel off here, but we've all seen it within this industry where people, they don't give a shit, right? You've been ghosted before. Fuck, I was ghosted by somebody I almost spent over $2,000 with, right? Thank God I fucking didn't, because he was like, peace out, bitch, bye. And that's exactly what it was, we've all seen them climb really, really fast and then fall the fuck off, right? They didn't have the foundation that we are really unleashing here. When you give a shit about your people, what do you think happens? You think they're gonna learn and grow and to be like, oh, bye? No, they're gonna want to fucking stick with you. That's a lifelong relationship that you're building. That just fuels the conversation piece even more. That's what it is, right? And when you lay it out point by point by point to them, really showing them how this is going to work for them, they're not pressured. There's no pressure at all. You
Can
know,
I add something?
Oh,
Oh my God. I want to add something. It's two things real quick. And then we're going to get into some really cool shit with like ideas, income, sales, and offers. All right. I know we're long winded, but damn it, this shit just fires me the fuck up. And I'm all jacked up on coffee. And I did have a mimosa earlier. Anyway, check this out. This is for what Thad said. And then I'm going to jump on what Demi said. Thad was talking about, all the company shit where you don't really get respected because basically you're just an employee. As long as you're making them money, it's all good. And the person who created the company, is reaping all the benefits. Let's just be real. All right. Not to say that's bad because the world needs entrepreneurs and the world needs like first responders and blue collar. That's true. But some of us are meant to be more than an employee. If you agree with that, drop me a number 2 in the comments. I'm meant for more. All right. Now, after my 5 years at this company, the one that fired me, they gave me a watch. It was a cheap watch too. It's like a $20 watch for 5 years of service, working 60 to 90 hours a week. I got a fucking watch. It was like, yep, you can tell time, you never be late for work. I was like, you motherfucker. All right, that's one thing. Number 2, they gave me an additional 4 weeks of vacation. But I'm just curious if anybody relates to this. They gave me an extra 4 weeks of vacation per year, right? But when I put in those times to take my vacation, they belittled the shit out of me because I wanted to take my personal time off. Why are you taking a vacation? You can't take 2 weeks off. What the hell? We need you here. I'm like, well, if you gave me this fucking PTO time and this extra vacation for putting 5 years in, why are y'all giving me a hard time for taking it off? Right? Man, I can't tell you, as a supervisor, I had to schedule and cover shifts for my guys to take off. But when I wanted to take time off, the person above me didn't want to come in and work my shift because of how much shit that I covered. All right. That shit hit hard for me and it's never left. It's stuck with me forever. All right. So let me know if you relate to that. Number 2, what Demi just said, covering, what Sarah mentioned in her comment. Right. I still remember it wasn't maybe about a month ago. I talked to Sarah for the first time. And it was really cool because we connected through Messenger, had a quick Messenger call with her. She later then connected with Demi based on like our community and how we have our ecosystem set up, right? Crazy stuff there. And it hasn't been more than a month where Sarah's made her first commission, a nice healthy one too, because she just came in, implemented, made a switch based on the stuff she was doing, tweaked it, changed her content up, and started talking to people exactly like we're teaching you guys today. And she made her first commission. That quick. That damn quick, off of finding someone you vibe with, investing in yourself to learn skills that will pay you long term. None of us will ever fucking preach get rich quick or none of that bullshit that's out there. But what we will preach and promise that if you learn these skills and you apply them and you implement them with a long-term vision and keep and set realistic expectations, you'll build a business that you will make more than you have ever made in your entire life and feel fucking good about it because of the impact that you've made on people and the freedom and time that you buy back from the investment. Yeah.
I want to add a little bit real quick. I'm sorry. It's the Ed McDonald comment. As we all talk about like the strenuous circumstances that we went through and the underappreciation, it definitely reminds me of my mother, who's been working at the same job for, God, it seems like 30 years. And I think every 10 years, it's not even a watch, Flip. It's a paperweight. It's literally a little paperweight. It's like a coaster, the size of a coaster on our coffee table at my parents' house. And I look at them every time for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's like a reminder, thanks for 20 years of service. Here's a paperweight, But the Ed McDonald comment, where I actually like my healthcare job, company car, flexible hours, that allows me to be on this call, for example, but it's the second part. But a divorce screwed my ability to retire by now and be able to run at park runs around the world. Like, we are not going to sit up here and say, oh, you got to hate your job. You got to hate everything about your job. But you want more out of life. You want to be able to retire. for whatever circumstances might have caused that not to work on your timeline. But we all know that shit in life just fucking happen. And even the retirement you thought you might have been set up for, you know, may not be enough. I mean, fuck, it is every day I see it. Some, you know, there's a reason why all the people at the Sam's Club are, you know, the older generation giving out samples at the little food stands, is because, you know what, sometimes that shit just runs out. But being able to do the things you really want to do in life, and I'm guarantee, even if you had flexible hours in that company car, you would much rather be doing things with the people you love, maybe spending time with your kids, grandkids, traveling the world, doing the things you're really passionate about. That's that real shit. That's that real shit that people want to be doing. You know, if there's more things you would rather be doing than even if you love your job, and there's more things you would rather be doing, like whatever that looks like, you know, drop me a fucking 3 in the comment. We've used 1 and 2 enough. But we got enough 1s and 2s in the comment section to, you know, to fill up a dance studio. But anyways, so yeah, like that's what it's really about, is being able to do the shit that you really want to be doing, the things that you're really passionate about. And I guarantee, no matter how much you love your job, that's not what you wanted to be spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week doing. I guarantee it. I mean, I know you probably didn't wake up on Monday and be like, man, this is exactly what I wanted to be doing for 85% of my week. Fuck yeah. You know, I know it wasn't me.
Won't me either.
And before Flip dives into offer creations and stuff, the biggest overarching lesson that I really want to emphasize from everything we've covered so far, it's kind of a term that Flip and myself have used quite a few times, and it's relationships over revenue. But the reality is relationships create the revenue, right? And a really good real-time example of this is we just wrapped up our first 6-month batch of our coaching clients, which is our 4-figure a month core accelerator. And 90% of the people were telling us, we're not going anywhere. You're not kicking me out. I'm not leaving. Right. And the point I'm trying to make is creating income from building these relationships and then having clients that are paying you month after month after month. You can't do that if you don't prioritize a relationship, right? We wouldn't even be on this live doing this training if there wasn't a relationship between us 4, right? So
I know Demi's got something to add before I dive in, but curious, here's some proof of concept. How many of you are here because you saw a piece of content about this shit going down? We're creators. We create the opportunity. We create free things that benefit our audience to build the know, like, and trust, because we're real people. All 4 of us have created trainings and offers, and we do coaching. And not too long ago, we were all in the blue collar, working a job that we didn't really enjoy, but we did it because we had to pay the bills to make money. Now, last thing I'll say, all 4 of us no longer have jobs, and we make our own schedules. We get to pick and choose who we decide to work with and who we decide to sell to. And we also tell people, no, you're not ready for this. Please do not make the investment. You're not in the right headspace. We control our environment based off the skills we learn.
Yep.
Think about it.
I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to add. Somebody dropped a comment and it sparked my brain. And I was like, oh yeah. Just to feed off of what both Flip and Nate just said, you know, I can't even remember like who I started through. You know, I know who I started through, but I can't even remember like exactly who I tried to reach out for help with, you know, and I'm one of those people. Like I was like, you're not going to kick me out. Like I'm here. Right. I'm fucking staying. Right. But side note, because I'm seeing some of these comments and like Thaddeus is telling us that his mom gets paperweights. Flip got a fucking I got a $5 cup. I got a $5 cup. I just want to say that,
I mean,
you know, working 80 hours a week, getting all that stressed out on the phone. I got a $5 cup.
Man.
I got nothing.
Ah.
I walked away with
Right?
nothing.
I
I walked away with nothing. That's it.
know.
That's tough.
I walked away with
That's
the
tough.
belongings in my
Who-
desk. That's about it.
me either,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've probably never worked at a job long enough to get anything from them. I think one of my bosses actually called me a job hopper one time because I would literally probably work maybe 6 or 7 months and then I would quit to go try to do something else. Little pockets of full-time work.
Man, who's like, I know we've been going for a while, so I want to take this quick second to say we appreciate all of you hanging out with us, and I really and truly hope this has been like very eye-opening, because what we're about to dive into is some really awesome shit, right? And you're going to see how all of this plays a huge part in blowing this up, right? Because I'm about to get fired up. I'm probably going to fucking cuss a lot, so please bear with me. All right. But what we're going to dive into right here is how you're going to create your own paychecks. Now, I want all of you to think about something you enjoy doing, something you're already knowledgeable about, or something you would not have a problem learning so that you could become knowledgeable about, right? A lot of you are probably sitting on information and things that you already know and do, and you could turn it into an income, right? Give you a quick example is me being an outdoorsman. One of the first things I did to generate money online was create a outdoorsman page. This is back when I was doing Amazon affiliate stuff. And I was simply posting things that I did in the woods, hunting, fishing, camping. And I told stories about things I was doing, and I directed people to products. All right, that was one way. But we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that. Okay. So who wants to know like how we take ideas to income, and like how you need to be thinking about offer creation so that you can create some freedom for yourself over the next couple of months, right? And if you've been in the game already and you haven't had things click yet, those are the folks that we've seen do like 10 grand in profit in 19 days. And we've also had folks that came in with no social media presence, no social media apps. They came in and hit 10 grand in profit in less than 100 days. So we literally help beginners. We can help folks that have been in the game for months at this point even faster because they already get the concepts. But we've taken absolute beginners, folks that have been trying to figure it out and haven't. And we've also taken folks that are making like 1 to 5K and totally exploded their results. Okay. Just to give you guys, because those that stick around, y'all are going to get to see something absolutely insane that us four have put together. Nobody's doing it. This is probably going to be the most insane thing that you've seen. And it's going to be your best and absolute only chance to get something like this at a very, very unique way. All right. It's going to be everything you need. So stick with us. Okay. I guarantee, if you can't tell from my free training, we'll fucking over deliver on everything that we do, whether it's free or paid. Okay. Now, ideas to income. One thing that really comes to mind, something that we did with Thad not too long ago. All right. It's like one is unpacking like the product or the service or the outcome. Okay. So like think about things that you're good at, things that you have, or things that you're learning. Because most folks say, oh, well, I don't have any monetary results. I haven't made any money. I can't get more results because I don't have any myself. All right. Well, here's something that most people overlook. And I totally get it. It's common. We noticed that Thad had done something that even Nate and I had never did. All right. And that was build a very huge audience on TikTok. All right. Now, money aside, results aside, he grew an audience of over 100,000 people. Right. Most people would absolutely love to have an audience of 100,000 people. So what we did in a nutshell is we unpacked and showed Thad like what we would do, what we thought he should do around that audience building aspect. Now, Thad, if you could chime in for a quick hot second, how quick did we take that idea to produce income?
Less than 24 hours.
Who would love to take an idea and, turn it into an income in 24 hours or even a week? All right. Let me know. Put 24 hours in the comments or even a week. Just hell yeah. I'd love to do that. That's what we did. Now, look at the concept. You want to look at like 4 to 6 pieces that are super important and relevant to the outcome or result that you can help folks get. Teaching folks how to crochet, how to shoot a gun, how to clean a gun. I mean, it could literally be anything, all right, as Medea would say. Include things that you can provide and give that's going to help them achieve, whether it's a Facebook group, free training, coaching call, a blueprint, step-by-step, map, access to you, whatever. All right. You want to decide on some kind of support structure. It could be a fucking comment thread. It could be Telegram. It could be Facebook Messenger, whatever. Okay. Just pick something, really. We have private buyers group, and it doesn't have to be crazy. Okay. Setting up a Facebook group is actually really simple, especially if, you've already gotten started. You could just have a place for your buyers of whatever it is you're selling to come and hang out, get support from you, etc. All right. But you keep them all in one place. Now, I'll tell you something else most folks overlook. A lot of people will look to get a customer to make a sale, and that's wrong. We want to make a sale to create a customer. Because if you look at like our buyers list, we've had over 500 customers this year, right? And most of them are repeat buyers of different things that we offer because we over deliver like a motherfucker, even on our free and cheap stuff, right? To help them get a result. And it just makes more sense. Okay. So the better relationship that you can keep with the folks that buy from you or in your audience, they'll be a repeat buyer, and they don't want to leave if they come into like your coaching or things like that. Right. So if you decide to use a Facebook group, it's a good idea to show up regularly. This is for your buyers or your free and private communities like we're running our shit right now, right? You want to show up. You definitely should look at committing to adding new content. Doesn't matter if it's your buyers group or your free or paid, whatever. Doesn't matter. You just want to show up so that your audience will see you. The more they see you, the better. Okay. Now, something else that a lot of folks overlook would be, I won't say a program, but there's a program that teaches to build a Facebook group, but they do nothing with the people after they join the Facebook group. It's like no support, no value, no nothing. It's like, yep, I got these thousands of people in this group and I don't know what to do. And let me tell you, I did one video earlier this year that brought 600 people to my group. And when I shared this, with our coach, Jacob, he was like, that's going to be 6 figures right there. Those people. And sure enough, we did multiple 6 figures this year, just based on building the audience inside the Facebook group. All right. If you haven't noticed, me and Nate are huge advocates for Facebook groups. Now, for your high ticket buyers, it's advisable to have some kind of coaching call, Q&A, messenger session, something like that. Just another touch point. Okay. This will increase your buyers' chances of staying consistent and following through. Because I'll tell you right now, I've had people buy shit and never do a damn thing with the information and then turn around and get mad because they weren't getting results. So write this down so you can see it or put it in the comments. Don't get mad about the results you did not get because of the work you did not do. We don't sell red buttons that spit out cash. What we do sell is information, support, coaching, structure, and we show you how to do the things that you need to do in order to produce the income so you can get results. Do not be mad about the results you did not get for the work that you did not do. You don't go to work and sit in a fucking chair and get paid your hourly rate to do nothing. You get paid for what you know and what you do, right? Keep that in mind. All right. Now, how many sessions do you offer? Doesn't really matter. Structure it how you want to. Make sure you protect your time and energy. If you're teaching somebody how to do something, right, depending on the price point, depending on what the result or outcome is, look at what you want to get paid for your hourly rate, right? I had no idea that we could get $500 to $1,000 an hour. It's crazy, right? Folks do pay us $500 to $1,000 an hour to consult with us, just to get on a Zoom call, just to talk to us on the phone, right? It's crazy, right? Yeah, shit happens. So look at like how you want to build up to your hourly rate, right? Now, I'm not saying go and give out a bunch of bonuses or 11,000 things. Keep things relevant to what it is that you're teaching or offering, whether you're giving them something that's a physical product, digital product, coaching, support, a how-to, whatever. But anything that you can add that's relevant to the thing that they're buying from you, it's going to take the perceived value up. Like I say, hey, if you jump into our, $5,000 coaching, here's what you get. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever we can add to make it make more sense for them and give them relevant things, it's just going to take the value up. Like literally, Nate and I have invested $100,000. I know Demi and Thad have invested a fuck ton too, right? And that's the reason why we're able to do as well as we're able to do, because of the knowledge we invested to learn. So, right, it wouldn't be crazy for me to say something like, hey, inside of the Core Accelerator, we're going to give you $100,000 worth of knowledge, right? But it's only $5,000 for 6 months. And we're going to show you how we've done awesome shit, right? Insert specific outcome. The more you can make it make sense and your perceived value is high, then you can anchor a lower price. It's just going to make sense. It's almost like human psychology, but at the same time, it's nothing but fucking truth, right? What we're giving you guys today, breaking all this down with these 5 steps, there are people out there charging thousands of dollars for this, and we're just giving it to you. Why? Because we want you to take our free shit and go out and make a shit ton of money. Because later down the road, if we make you an offer and you got value, info, implementation, and results from our free shit, are you going to say yes to anything paid from us? Right? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that some of you are going to want to buy what the hell we mentioned at the end of this, because it's just going to be a no-brainer fuck yes offer. Right? Am I confident in what we do? Abso-fucking-lutely. I've seen too many people come in, implement, and get results pretty quick. Right? So right here, if you aim for like 3 to 5 complementary resources to whatever it is you're offering, that's usually a good number. All right. Now, it could be more training on XYZ. Just make sure it's relevant to what it is you're offering. Right? If you're teaching folks how to do knitting and crocheting specific things, and you say, hey, here's a discount code, or here's 5 free balls of yarn, or here's 5 free patterns that comes with this, it's just going to make sense. You see what I'm saying? So this works for physical and digital offers. Doesn't matter. All right. Now, don't add a bunch of useless shit. Don't overwhelm them with things that they do not need just to make it look like they're getting a lot of things. You do not need a bunch of bonuses. All right. You don't need it. So like, got a nice little list there. Those are great ideas as far as like the digital side of things. And I just gave you some physical ideas too, depending on what it is you're selling. If you're selling pet stuff, right? Hey, here's how to teach your dog in the next 24 hours how to do XYZ. Right? Here's the top list of the 10 treats that are the best way to teach them to do this. Right? We're also going to send you a free leash that works really well when you're training your dog. See what I'm saying? All right. So coming back to like what we do as a whole, a solid offer needs to have a couple things. If you're trying to put this together on a Google Doc, which is what we teach and how we like to do things based on what we learned from Jacob Karras. We do not do sales calls. We haven't done sales calls in a very long time. All right. And we've done, I don't know, almost $500,000 this year between us 4 without sales calls. Okay. Selling a variety and plethora of different products, low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, etc. All right. Anybody want to chime in on anything before I get into my zone?
I just want to point out this one comment, and I already know who it is. You can offer that hammock, but package it in a way like you know what, you're going to have so much free time based upon being able to eliminate sales calls or, having to spend all day doing X, Y, and Z, that you're going to have so much free time. You're going to be able to hang out in this hammock. And I'm so confident I'm going to send you this hammock as a bonus to you,
Yeah.
Yeah, no one never shy away from sending the hammock. And I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun with it. But I'll let you, that's old Marky Scott over there.
Yeah. I love Mark stuff.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's not the hammock. It's not
And,
the hammock.
and I'll even chime in there a little bit too, is it's like, if the thing to think about too is like, there's psychological aspects to branding that become tied to you. So like, if that's part of your brand, then fuck yeah, send a hammock, right? The first thing that comes to mind when I think of Spencer Meekum is the hammock, right? Because that's like his logo in the hammock,
Yeah.
right? And then Alex Hormozy mentions this about his handlebar mustache, right? He kept it intentionally because Dan Kennedy brought up something about having a weird thing or like a micro thing that kind of puts your brand in the forefront of people's brains, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's that guy with the handlebar mustache. Oh, that's the guy in the hammock. Oh, that's the guy with the potato internet who looks like he's off Roblox.
Yeah.
That one wasn't intentional, but it is what it is.
Before I jump back in, I might have ate a bug. You're not really selling the hammock. All right. What you're really selling, I could go out here and sell the shit out of a hammock because I'm going to sell the feeling that the hammock's going to bring. I'm going to paint a picture like, hey, it's sunny. You got that nice ass shade tree and you don't even have any chairs, right? You got some cold beer. You want to go out and chill in the backyard, let the kids play, and you want to relax, but you don't have anywhere to sit. Well, guess what? I got this hammock. Take you 45 seconds to set up. It's the most comfortable hammock that you ever did have. You might have bought hammocks in the past and you just can't get comfortable because you can't adjust it. This one, self-adjustable. Pop it up in 45 seconds. It's even got a place to, hold your snacks on the side, right? And I want you to imagine the kids running around. You got your cold beer. You got your snacks beside you. And you're just super comfortable sitting in the shade, nice breeze coming through, and life is good. This hammock is only $24.99 for today and today only. I'll ship it right to your doorstep. How do you want to pay? That's how you paint, right? Now, how many of you just listened to me say that and imagined everything that I said in the backyard? That's a real-time example of an offer. Quick, like a quick fire, okay? Now they want the hammock, right? There we go. It doesn't matter what you sell. Digital, physical, coaching, support, softwares. I don't care. If I wouldn't get kicked off Facebook, I'd tell you guys how to sell dildos and dump trucks, but I can't get that explicit. So we'll just hold that for another day. All right. Now, here's what your offer needs. Now I'm gonna use a real offer and example at the same time. All right. So the opening, who's it for? Digging into certain pain points that you know that your ideal customer is actively struggling with in their business. So if I said, hey, this is for anyone who doesn't like the situation that they're in, they haven't hit their breakthrough online, but they want to become an active affiliate so that they can create a business of their own and become an expert and leader that folks listen to and love to buy from. That would be my opening. All right. This is going to work for you if you've went through any other, low ticket trainings that did not have the support. They did not break things down step by step and you were just left confused. All right. This is for you. Painting a picture about where they're currently at, talking about things they've already went through, things that you can speak to personally like us, because we've all failed a lot and we've bought a bunch of shit and we've went through the motions, right? A result snapshot. Tie in your own results, right? This offer is what I wish I would have had. I'm pretty sure these other three folks wish they would have had it too in the very beginning, because once the clarity was there, I knew exactly what steps to focus on and how to implement and deploy what I was learning. that's allowed me to make multiple $1,000 days because of what this offer has and includes. It's allowed us to do $20,000 to $50,000 a month, selling many, many different offers. All right. The closer you can tie these to a product that you're selling, right, whatever it is you choose, this is the strategies taught inside what you're going to get, right? The easier you can make it to pre-sale and make it make sense, the more conversions, the more sales, the more yeses, the more send me the link, the more yes, I'm in, the more Stripe notifications, the more your affiliate dashboard's going to fucking pop with dollar signs. All right. And then the best thing is you'll get more messages saying, oh my God, where was this at a year ago? I'm so glad I found you. I can't believe I was able to do this in this amount of time. I got a message this morning, someone that bought our $200 training, they fucked around and made 63 sales with a low ticket offer they created. They spent $200, made almost $2,000, right? Because of how we lay shit out. All right. So any kind of results you can use. Doesn't have to be your own if you don't have any. You can use community results, right? I'm pretty sure we got some results that we could pull up right now, but we might wait to do that. We're all going to pull them up to show you guys some awesome shit. But any results you can share that further prove or have the proof of concept around what it is you're offering, whether it's dogs, whether it's crocheting, whether it's digital products and training, coaching, whatever. The more you can explain it and show them you know where they are and you have an outcome that you can show them how to get, and they feel like that they believe they can do it, and you're the person that's going to help them do it. All right. Now, we want to highlight even more of the benefits of the program. Not really the features, but how it's going to solve their problem and what it's going to look like for them after their problem is solved. All right. How many of you have been through a fuck ton of trainings? Let me know. Put fuck ton of trainings in the comments. You've been through things and you figured out what it was missing after you were sold on the dream. And I'll tell you, with my 36 different things I've been through and my, almost 6 figures in investments, majority of them were missing a real community, a real support system, actual coaching every week, right? Just like inside of our businesses, inside of Group Juice and Triple C's, us 4, we go live every week. And we don't go in there just to say, hey, you got any questions? No, we show up. We talk about things that we're actively doing in our business. We answer questions based on the training as folks are going through them. And we share shit that we're actually doing in our businesses that fucking works so that other people can implement it, right? And we don't push people to sell our shit. They just happen to do that because they love it and they get results. We actually show folks how to sell whatever the fuck they want, right? This is what makes us different, right? Now, by default, folks naturally want to sell our stuff, and that's cool, but we don't push them to do so, all right? So there's a couple benefits and what most things are missing. Support, actual coaching, step-by-step, fucking strategy. We leave nobody behind. We got a questions thread in both groups and programs right now. They're probably over 1,000 comments. We've had folks say, hey, this questions thread's worth the price of admission. This one bonus training is worth the price of admission, right? We're underpriced according to everybody in the market. And we also over deliver on every aspect. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Speak about the feeling or place that they're going to be once they've implemented the thing. Like we talked about Sarah making her first commission, right? We got Kate from Triple C has been fucking crushing it, right? We've had dozens and dozens of folks. We've sent plaques and awards, kind of like this one over here that you can't really see, right? 10 grand. You see all these in the background? Dad's got one. He's got one. Demi's got one. I got another one that was sent to me for doing over 100,000 this year, right? We've sent out dozens of those because folks have done over 10,000 in profit in less than 100 days, right? So as you're highlighting the benefits of the program while eliminating their objections at the same time, it's super powerful. Folks are going to know that you're different and that you can help them, believe that they can do it, and it's going to make sense. Okay. Now we're going to transition a little bit into your offers. Let me know if this is good for you guys. If you're getting value from this and it's making sense, let me know in the comments. Put whatever you want. Be like, Flip, you fucking suck, or Flip, this is fucking amazing. I'm so glad that I showed up to this training. Whatever. Right? You guys are awesome. You guys suck. I'm open to all of it. Now, transition into core features. Break down the different things that are going to help them, right? And what it's going to bring. Clarity, understanding, actual results, okay? Right? Day 1, you're going to get X. Day 2, you're going to get this, right? Like between Group Juice and Triple C's Masterclass, here's a cool thing. Between, less than 10 days, the way that we depict, like you can have literally everything set up and know exactly what you need to do in 10 days. And then it just becomes you deploying it. This is how folks have gotten results in 2 weeks inside of Triple C's. It's how folks have gotten results in, just as quick inside of Group Juice, right? Now, transitioning into your bonuses. We kind of touched on this earlier. What bonuses can you provide? They've got bonus trainings. We've got bonus trainings, and they're all relevant to productivity, enhancing the results, the speed of the results, right? Everything's relevant to what it is that we offer, right? There's no extra shit that you don't need or you can't use, right? We've had folks go through both programs and like, holy shit, I'm already getting results from day 1. Someone just told us that the other day. It's like, fuck, all I did was, implement day 1, and my audience was growing. Folks were coming to the group. Fucking day 1, I've got 29 conversations going on in the first week from Triple C's, right? So briefly dig into, pain points that the bonuses are going to solve, and like the offer as a whole, what it's going to solve. Availability, if you only got a couple spots, right? Days left, how long is promos going? This one, we got a really cool deal that we're only going to run for October. And if folks miss out, then that's our own fault because we're not going to do it again. And yes, we're going to all share what's going on here in a few, right? Your pricing, that's going to blow your mind too, right? Because I saw earlier a lot of folks said, hell yeah, I'd pay $3,000 to learn how to make $100,000, right? Hell yeah, I'd pay $5,000. Fuck. I've had some folks say, hey, I'd pay $10,000 from what you guys got. It's not even going to be close. All right. Payment plans, however you want to price it, test and tweak these, and then wrap it up. Either prompt folks to hit the checkout, hit you back up. Maybe you got it set up through PayPal, Stripe, Zelle, whatever you want to do. All right. Because all that makes sense when it comes to creating an offer, right? All this stuff people would charge you to say. Now, if you go out and implement this shit today in your business and go make money, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be happy for you. I'll be rooting for you and cheering, right? Because if you got the right drive and you're motivated, you're self-driven, and you got something already to sell, you can go and make money with everything we've taught today. And we're not even done yet, right?
And I want to give you guys a little secret sauce. This exact flow that Flip just broke down is the exact offer doc flow that we've used to do about over $1,000 every single day of this year with a 12-page Google Doc. Right? It's not a hypothetical offer creation strategy. This is the one we are using. We have been using, and we're literally creating cash from a Google document that's 12 pages long. So,
100%.
Deploy it is all I'm saying.
Please go and deploy it, right? And if you're not sure about how to go out and implement this and you're looking for the support and you want something that's going to allow you to hit your breakthrough, then stick around. You don't have much longer to see what insane, stupid shit we got going on. It's just going to make absolute total sense for you. All right. Had a lot of folks say, hey, I don't have $3,000. I don't have $5,000. I don't have $2,000. Pump your brakes. Don't worry. If you're self-driven, you're motivated, and you want to learn from us, we're going to make it easy for you to say yes. All right. So sales, we all get uncomfortable when it comes to selling. All right. And you guys feel free to do like I do. Raise your hand if you want to interrupt me because y'all know I get fired up and do my thing. Go ahead, Dad.
I want to before we jump into the sales part, I wanted to circle back to what everything you just broke down and really kind of show appreciation to the goal that just got dropped. And this is a completely free training. No one in this watching on live or the replay is going to have to pay to see this. Just for perspective, like just what he laid out right there. I've paid over $10,000 for coaching and did not get that information. Even the person that I paid that money to was that information was gatekeeped, like, you know, the whole gatekeeping thing from me. There was zero clarity on even how to deploy that. That's something that majority of people don't know. That right there is how this next portion can almost be effortless. And as we dive into it is what's really going to make it. You don't have to be great at sales. If you implement the content, you start building that community, that culture, you start having those conversations, understanding, and then your offer is exactly what they need because you've taken the time to figure out the rest of these steps. The sales part that we're about to break down is the almost like the easy part. Like I fucking suck at sales. Like I'm not a salesperson. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just a real dude who likes to rock a robe, occasionally a hot pink cat romper, you know what I mean? And just have a good time. You know, that's just me. And that kind of good time. Calm down, Nate. But I want to just point out like that right there is enough gold that literally I've spent 5 figures in one program and still did not learn. And that was just given to you almost step by step for free. And I just want to show appreciation to that and it really kind of show how valuable that information really is. Anyways, that's just all I wanted to add.
I appreciate that, bro. 100%. So if you want to make money online from the comfort of your home, in your cat romper, in your robe, in your pajamas, right? You got to get comfortable selling. You're going to have to sell something. Okay? Now, there's a shit ton of different ways and sales processes you can use for anything that you want to sell, right? Cold DMs. You can do outreach. You can dial the phones all day until you have a blister on your fucking thumb, right? What we love, docs, content leverage. Our content does the heavy lifting, whether it's a live, whether it's a post, whether it's a short video, whether it's an email, right? This is what we go hard on because it's allowed us to help more people, number one, and given us our time back. We don't have to waste time with freebie seekers. We don't have to have long, drawn-out conversations. We don't have to get on 45-minute strategy sessions and get to the end for them to say, I thought this was going to be free. I gotta invest some money. Like, yeah, bitch, you want to build a business, or what, you want to do a charity, right? All right, so we don't have to waste a bunch of time getting ghosted, stuff like that, right? Another way is have someone else close for you. Value ladder products. Now, the thing that we don't like about that is if you don't learn the skills initially, there's no way you can delegate someone else to do anything in your business. So like, this is why we preach the long term. Get in, invest, learn the skills. All 4 of us and a lot of our students, this is what blew people's minds with what we all teach, is we want everyone to get all of the knowledge. Take it a little slow and learn it all. That way you know how to operate the entire business with just you. And then as you grow, you can start delegating and outsourcing, getting more of your time back, doing just income producing activities, right? So that's why we love the way that we teach things, is because you don't have to go and give someone 10 grand and then say, hey, we're going to do everything for you. You know, you got to do 10%. That's it. And no, I'm not speaking directly about a specific thing, because there's a lot of programs out there that do that. The only difference is we teach all the skills. Nobody can take that from you, right? If you know how to do everything, you're going to figure out what you like, what you're good at. those are the things you can continue doing. The things that you don't like and you're not good at, that you still know how to do, you outsource. You find someone who's better at it than you, right? You get more time back. Okay. Now, the mixture of all of these can work, but if you can get really good at one, maybe two of these processes, you're going to blow shit up. Okay. I've tested pretty much all of those. I've tried the ads, I've tried the calls, and I made money with all of them. I did lose my ass on the ads, so I don't suggest to start with done for you shit. All right. Organic is the way to go. Now, the better and more that you try different things, test, you'll figure out what you like and what you're comfortable doing. That's going to be your weapon, right? So the better job you do with the content based on our way of teaching, the shorter your sales process is going to be. If folks are looking at a bunch of your content you've been creating the last 30 days, those people, when they see an offer from you, they're going to be more warmed up to what it is you have to offer, and they're going to be a quicker yes. Versus if I just go out and make a offer in a cold DM saying, hey, I've got this thing, it's really good, it's getting results. You don't know me from Eve, but here's my shit. Would you like to check out this offer and buy it? They're going to be like, fuck you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do. I don't know who you help. I haven't seen anything from you, and you're just hitting me like this. You can be gone. Versus content. You put out content. I've had folks tell me I'm full of shit, and I'm like, okay, well, go back. All of my content is public between Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, right? Everywhere, my content's public. Go back to 2019. Go back to 2018 when I was talking about what I was going to do. Go back to 2020 when I kicked it off. Go back last year. Like, go look, and then let me know. I don't even worry about people to tell me I'm full of shit because I got the content to back it up. But get good at one. Try them, pick them. If we could go back in time and somebody be like, hey, Flip, you don't have to do all that other crazy shit. You can just focus on this, this, and this. It would have saved me years and quite a bit of money. Okay. So figure out what works for you. A lot of folks love how we do things because it's easier. It's less time consuming, and the content does most of the heavy lifting. Okay. Content, DM, call, offer, it all works. You can do calls, you can do DMs, whatever. Or you could do just straight content to a website. If you're selling physical products, that works too. Okay. Anything y'all want to add? Nope.
I thought Demi
Cool.
was going to talk.
I was waiting on you. You go first.
So the biggest point, right, is the better job that you can do with all of these 4 other steps, as Flip mentioned, the shorter and shorter the sales become, right? And that's without having to be like sleazy or anything like that. And like a good real-time example of this is like, we've had people jump into our 6-month coaching program with like 2 or 3 messages back and forth, right? It's because the relationship that gets built. And I'm mainly bringing it up because a lot of people build up this big fear around sales. But when you can nail all the other stuff, right, it becomes easy, right? The actually selling the products to people, right? Getting crystal clear expectations before you ever even get into presenting an offer or trying to make the sale, right? Thaddeus and myself aren't sales savants like Flip and Demi, but we still close high ticket sales all the time, right? And that's the biggest thing is it becomes relatively easy when you nail the other aspects, right? And each component is going to lift up a different portion of weight in your business, right? And it depends on the style that you're using of where you want to pick up that weight, right? Like a cold DM and an outreach approach would be more of like a high volume, right? Just pumping massive amounts of volume through the business, versus like a lot of what we do is very targeted content, right? Yeah, we're not going mega viral. We're not generating thousands of leads a day, but the majority of the people who come into our worlds end up buying because they know why they're there, versus like a piece of content that's like, hey, you're going to be able to do $40K this month with filling out surveys or some shit. And then we have to do a 17-week conversation about why they shouldn't do surveys and they should buy my product. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of get the difference, right? We're talking about what it actually takes. So the conversations are actually generated towards what we're selling versus like a bait and switch strategy. So
I just wanted to add to, oh, sorry, Flip. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to, so you all can see the power of picking one, because I was the top one. I would book myself full of sales calls when I first started with Flip, right? I haven't been on a sales call in like 2.5 months, you know, and now it's just simple closing in Messenger, whether a doc's involved or if the conversation has just flowed like that, right? So don't think that, okay, you pick one of these strategies and that's it forever. Because as you grow and evolve and you get better at offer doc creation, conversations, whether it's DM or messenger calls, Zoom calls, whatever you choose, you can always pull from that and really make it how you want to, you know.
Yep.
That was one of my biggest things. I was tired of being stuck on sales calls forever because I felt like I was missing so much. So I had said, look, I want to really focus and get better at closing in Messenger. And nothing's better than sitting on the couch and closing a sale while you're watching a Disney movie with your kid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the shit. So.
And I want to say a really underlying power to that is picking one and getting clarity on the actual process you want to lean into. Is the fact as if you're going into conversations and you have no fucking goal, it's going to be a dumpster fire. It's going to be a hot mess, right? Because this was me. I didn't know if I was going to book a call. I didn't know if I was going to send them a doc. I didn't know if I was going to send them an affiliate link. So there was no direction in the conversation, right? There was no clarity for me in my actual sales process and what I was moving towards. And as Demi mentioned, just because you pick one now doesn't mean it's going to be the one forever, right? Flip and myself did all of us did these in the beginnings, right?
Yep.
We did cold outreach. We did the old stuff. We're adding friends and doing all that. Doing sales calls. I think we've done less than 6 all year.
And they were because folks won like contests and shit, and that was a bonus, was a coaching call with us. So it wasn't really a sales call either. And I'll say by learning this stuff and dialing it in and getting good at it, like we can now send emails, make sales. We can post a TikTok video and make sales, right? The other day, I got up and had, over $100 in sales with one of the lower ticket things that we sell. But it's because of the personal brand and the content that does the heavy lifting that allows that pillow money to be made. All right. So like, we don't really preach passive income, but it's like the closest thing you can get to it. If you build the brand, the business, and the audience and the authority and give value to your audience, they're going to buy things from you, right? I don't care what you sell. I sell beard products too, right? I built a list on beard products. So I've got an email list that I can send emails about beard products that I sell as an affiliate, right? I've got another list that I've built on how to win online. It's got over 2,000 folks. And send an email and make money because I've built the leadership and the relationships with the folks on the list. Okay. So like when you get good at this stuff, the content will do the heavy lifting, the selling will become easy. This is how folks do it with all kinds of different products, on and offline. Okay. So
I want to add something real quick. And I think it's like probably the most underrated aspect of these previous steps that we really talked about is that when people think sales, they think selling. Like, yes, you are selling something actively, but when people think of selling, they think it's like it's grimy. No one wants to be sold something. You know what I mean? But if you do the job, you put out and you implement and you build that personal brand, just like Flip was saying, you're not having to sell them on something because it's already actively what they want. It's what they want. And when they want to buy something, the sale just happens. And that's what a lot of people with that disconnect that people have is they immediately think they have to like sell them something. Like I have to be sold this cup or this digital course. Like if you do all that other stuff, people will just want to buy it because they want to buy from you. They can see themselves in you, and the offer that you have actively solves the problem. And it removes all that kind of sleazy aspect of quote unquote selling something. And that's like the biggest power of it all. Yeah.
Hands down. Now there are some things that you can't really eliminate. So the relationship side of it, you got to talk to folks. Okay. That's the main thing to remember. Because I have like put up a TikTok video and made $4,000 off a 60-second video. I've done that without talking to anyone. Right. So it is possible to do things like that. But I had, the brand in place. People knew who I was. Right. So keep that in mind. If you could scroll me down a little bit there, Nate. The big thing, like the tunnel vision, there's no super set way that this is going to happen. Like everybody's journey is different. But what I can assure you is if you stay the course and like stay consistent, show up, ask questions, and just simply take imperfect action, you're going to do very well. Right? So the biggest thing that keeps people from doing that, like showing up, not knowing what to do, is they don't have the clarity because they don't have the support. Right? They were just sold on a pipe dream of working 1 to 2 hours a day, and they're just going to make bank in 30 days. Not even knowing all the shit that really goes into it. Right? So having clarity on your goal, where you want to go, that's going to be a big thing because you have something to set and look forward to. Right? You know what you want to do. You know why you want to do it. You know that you have to change in order to do it. Right? So it's going to come down to like day-to-day stuff. Can you get started for 1 to 2 hours a day? Absolutely. Can you expect to do more as you get more time? You better. You're building something of yours. You're building a legacy. My girls, they're going to be able to step into college if they want, or I'll show them how to build their own shit if they want. They're going to have options. I'm not going to push them to college, right? I'm not going to push them to be an entrepreneur. Hell, the way that they talk and how much YouTube they watch, they're probably going to be content creators at some way, form, or fashion. They already got their call to actions down, right? So clarity behind it. You know what you want to do, why you want to do it, right? Now, say you want to book a call, present a doc. You're moving them towards an objective. And here's the thing. Selling is good because we all four heard this the other day. Selling is not something that you're doing to someone. It's something that you're doing for someone, right? Because if I'm talking to somebody and I really feel like I can help them and one of my offers is a great fit for them and I don't offer it, I'm doing them a disservice. If they're here and they want to get here and like my product is going to help them do that and I don't offer it to them, that's fucked up on my part. If I say, hey, you're here, I know you want to get here, and I've got the vehicle that's going to help you go there, right? Get you there faster. It's going to get you there, right? I have to make that offer. Because if I don't have their best interest in mind. And that's messed up for me, right? So keep that in mind. If it makes sense and you're sure and confident you can help someone, like whatever you're selling, whether it's the latest dildo, the biggest dump truck, or the best digital course. If it's going to help them and improve their life, sell it to them. All right?
Stress reliever 5,000.
There you go. There you go.
I heard a powerful quote, and I just want to say it real quick. It was that, the age-old saying is like content is king, but clarity is actually the king of everything. The more clarity people can have of what they're going to do, and that starts at your content, who you are, how you can help them, what you have to offer them, what that looks like, all that clarity, all the rest of this flows like water. So clarity in everything is by far the biggest asset that you can deploy to make
Yeah.
all of this seamless. And I just wanted to share that. Yeah.
Hands down.
So I thought it was super powerful.
Totally agree. Now, you guys that are still here, which it's still a lot of you here, one, we appreciate you. We really and truly hope this was very, very beneficial to you. And we do have something special to share with you guys. It's not going to be for everyone. All right. That's a fact. It will be for a lot of you. Right. Now, with you guys being here with us, has this been an awesome free training? Do you feel like we're people that you could learn from, be supported by, lifetime coaching, twice a week, different groups? Like we literally break down everything for you, all the steps you need, all the support that you need, all the training that you need. Like literally, I'm not joking when I say step by step. How to build your personal brand, right? How to structure your group, the type of content to create, how to create offers, how to have your conversations flow like melted butter on popcorn, how to close sales regardless of what it is that you do sell, and just be supported as a whole to build a business that you really want to build. Right? Who would be interested in hearing this? Don't ask us why we did it this way, because we've been told we were just fucking crazy for doing it. Because nobody's doing this. There's no offer out there like this with this level and amount of support with the training that we provide. Right? Awesome. So anything you guys want to add, or do you guys watch and just want me to just give it to you straight, no fluff, real and raw, like we always do? You just want me to blurt it out, what it is that we're doing? Let me know. Because if you've been on the fence about group juice, or you've been on the fence about triple C's, maybe you've been watching from the sidelines for a while, you didn't have that $2,000 to jump in, you couldn't afford our other payment plan of 600 times 2, right? You really vibe with us. You got 2 bald and bearded guys. You got Nate, you got Demi, right? Cool. Give it. They want it. All right. So, as you guys know, Triple C sells for over $1,000. Group Juice sells for over $1,000, right? Now, we put this bundle deal together based on everything that us 4 have done together. Demi and Thad have been working with us for a good little while. They've absolutely kicked ass. They came in, implemented. We helped them roll out an awesome offer, which is the Trip C's, and they fucking crushed it. They've been helping a shit ton of people. They have a ton of results. If you've been watching any of Nate and I's content, you've already seen how massive the results coming out of Group Juice. So we decided to combine the two just for the month of October. Triple C's Masterclass, Group Juice, right? We've got well over 200 students inside of Group Juice. They just crossed the 50 mark inside of Trip C's. Folks are moving and grooving. Now, you don't have to pay $1,250 for Triple C's. You don't have to pay $1,000 for Group Juice. We've put all of these together, all the bonus trainings, everything inside, both support systems inside of both groups. And for 5 easy payments of $250, you can get both lifetime access. So for today, with a down payment of $250 and your goodwill, we're putting you guys on the honor code that you come in, go through the information, you implement it as you consume it, and just follow the steps. There is a very, very high chance that you can start producing an income before your next payment is due. But I want you guys to keep in mind, we've literally taken what we've learned with, over $100,000 in investments. That's what's in both of these programs. All right. And you don't have to pay for them separately. $250 today gets you access to both. They're coaching every week, Demi and Thad. Nate and I's coaching every week inside of Group Juice. All right. Now I do have to say this. If you were invited to this live training by anyone, someone sent you here, whatever group you're in, whoever invited you, they've got this offer waiting for you if it makes sense, right? You got a really good taste the last couple of hours to see how we operate and coach. All right. This is our free stuff. So I'll let you paint your own picture of how we do things behind the paywalls. Now, you've never gotten this kind of offer. Nobody's ever seen it. We don't normally do this kind of payment plans, but we want to over deliver and give everybody the best chance to build whatever the fuck they want to and get results quicker than we did. All right. So whoever invited you, if it was someone you've been chatting to, you need to go back to that person and ask them about this bundle deal, and they'll get you straight. For those of you that have, been rocking with us, maybe you're in Demi's group, Dad's group, my group, Nate's group, and you found us, we're going to make it easily available for you guys to jump in and grab that, right? You're going to see this. This offer is for a limited time, all right? So there's a great chance you could take what you learn from this bundle deal and start making money before, next month. That's all depending on work ethic. All right. So any questions you guys got, we'll sit tight, answer any questions, do a little bit of Q&A, but that's the deal that we got for those of you that are rocking. All right. Fluff. Yep. No fluff here.
Is the training going to be able to, if we're talking about this training, yes, this training will be available in the groups all of October. And then we'll probably be removing it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will be.
So right here, if you were sent by someone, like invited to the groups to come and watch this free training, and you want to jump on this offer, you need to go back to that person. All right. Because we're very loyal and we want everyone to be compensated correctly. That's just the integrity we have. Now, a couple questions there. $250 per month. Yes. Now, just to be straight and very transparent. So both of these programs sell for over $1,000, but we're going to allow you guys to get both. You can do $1K one time if you want to pay for it outright, or you can do $250. That's 5 payments. So it would be $1,250 to still get both. Still a stupid deal, but we wanted to make it easily affordable for those to get access to everything. All right. You can literally go through Group Juice, have everything set up, in a couple of days. If you got the bandwidth to go through, a couple hours of training, have everything set up in a week. Same thing with Triple C's Masterclass, the content and the conversations, right? So yes, you can either do the 250 times 5, or you can do the 1K one time and be done. Either way, totally cool with us. But we wanted to make it easily accessible, right? Yes. I'm not a tech person, and funnels really whip my ass, but I'll let Nate kind of handle this. My personal perspective is you don't have to have any fancy funnels the way that we do things. All right.
Yep. So there is, on day 1 in Group Juice, we dive into building out your brand hub, right? Realistically and honestly, you could do it without the funnels, right? Flip still uses a beacons page. We do cover that, right? We are big on keeping hyper simple processes in your business so you can actually focus on the stuff that makes the money, right? So worst case scenario, you don't have a funnel, right? We have a student, she might be on here, Jill, who has like literally just direct linking to her group from her profile, and she's blown her group up and she's making high ticket sales without the fancy tech. Now, I will be clear, she is a tech wizard herself, but that's kind of the process we're teaching, right? You can minimize a lot of this stuff if you don't want to do it or you don't want to use it. But we also give you the ability to do that as well, right? Show you how to build out a simple group funnel, a group like for that. The premise of Group Juice is funneling everybody into your communities, growing, monetizing your own communities. And then everything Demi and Thaddeus teach just further enhances everything we're talking about in Group Juice, right? Giving you the frameworks to blow up your community, they're giving you the frameworks to turn the community members into cold hard cash. Work
Yes.
very well
And
together.
Angie Armatina, I hope I said that right. Angie, if you could message Nate or myself, we'll get you straight on that and get you sorted. If you're in Group Juice, message Nate or myself. Anyone else, if you want to take us up on this deal, it's only going to be for this month of October. Like, no shit. After that, it's going away. Everything will go back to regular price. So if you've been on the fence for any amount of time and you want to get the best bang for your buck, this is the best way to do it, to get double the support, double the training, double the results. All right. Y'all already know we're not about the fluff and the bullshit. If you want to jump into this deal, just comment "I'm in" below, whichever group you're in, and wherever that comment falls, we'll get you straight. If you were sent here by someone else and you want to get this deal, please message the person that sent you. All right, and they'll get you sorted. Okay, so I know a lot of you said that you wanted to get it. Arno, real quick recap for you, brother. Not sure how much you've seen or how much you've known, but in a nutshell, Triple C sells for over 1,000. Group Juice sells for over 1,000. We've combined these, so you get the Triple C's masterclass around content, conversations, cash flow. Group Juice, how to optimize, monetize, and blow up your social media followings and your groups, and monetizing them ethically, regardless of what you sell. $1,000, over $1,000. We've put them both together. Yep. And you can get in for $250 down and 4 payments after that. Or you can pay $1,000 one time to get both. Double the support, double the training, double the results. All right. We just ran for, I don't know, almost 3 hours and broke down everything. Right. So whoever is wanting in, just give us a shout. And yes, Triple C is different from MMM.
Yep. Triple M is our offer creation strategies. Triple C's is Demi and Thaddeus's product that they rolled out a couple months back.
100%.
For a deeper dive, for those want a little bit more clarity on the Triple C's, like Nate said before, it is the full breakdown of creating your content and then navigating conversations in order to generate more cash flow. So it's literally the whole picture, the whole pie, so to speak, between optimizing your community, building your personal brand, and generating and monetizing social media from A to Z, from the organic, everything we've covered today and much, much more. So.
And you guys do like real-time content feedback too, which is fucking insane.
Yeah, we do. We have a questions thread to where like you can get feedback on your video, feedback on your written. If you're in conversations and you need help, what to kind of how to navigate that we have a whole question thread dedicated just for that as well.
Hell yeah.
Heels, yeah.
Heels, yeah.
Heels, yeah, boy.
So we got Flip and Demi went rogue.
Yeah,
it happens, right?
It's just Nate and Thaddeus show now. Now that
oh
now
my
the fun
goodness,
starts.
we're in trouble, dude.
Look, these are the parents. They don't want to leave Nate and myself unsupervised on this live.
So I know my StreamYard's been fucking up here lately, and I apologize for that, guys. But if it does kick me off, I wanted to just let you all know that I appreciate everybody that joined us today. I mean, y'all have been awesome, especially rocking with us for damn near 3 hours now. So I just appreciate that. And StreamYard can kick me off now, I guess. But like it just I don't know what it does. It just like it shuts my camera off, and then yeah.
Yep.
Hashtag tech problems.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So I know you guys might be sick of seeing us, but if you got everything that we covered today, like hopefully you took notes, go and deploy it, apply it. If you want to jump into this, give us a shout and make sure that whoever sent you, if they invited you to one of our groups, please reach out to them. They'll get you sorted on this bundle deal.